good interior defense, and the Heat will look for the first score. Duncan Robinson pull-up three, and a perfect way to restart the NBA season. A pure triple from the 40 points per game from this year's Kings. Jimmy Butler, nice pitch. Robinson's wide open in the corner. Oh, two in a row for Duncan Robinson, the king of three-point land right now. Here's Butler getting past Bazemore. Heat ball movement's been crisp. There's Duncan. Kaboom. He get it right back. Here's Jimmy on the keeper, flipping it in. Silva straight down the lane. Chris Silva, 6 fourth-quarter points. Chris Silva. Oh, my, what a tough shot made by Chris Silva. The Silva hammer strikes quickly on the lob from Gabe Vincent.
I think we've been doing a great job of sharing the ball all year long before this whole hiatus thing. We talk about it in practice. We work on it in practice. I just think we all want each other to be successful. Pass it to the open guy. Everybody's going to touch the ball. Everybody's going to get an opportunity to shoot it. We're going to have an opportunity to win.
Yeah. Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just truly probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat. Well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Spotty Pablo in the Big O Show. Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Andy, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From Sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping you glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know. Culture, Probably Pablo, you know, now introducing the man of the hour. Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Gary. Yeah.
All righty, we are ready to rock and roll on a beautiful Thursday. We're always doing it right here at Toyota of Hollywood. Welcome aboard, y'all. Wish everybody's having a good day. Make sure you drive around safely, because we still got some of that stinking rain out there since we got all those storms out there. We got one in the Gulf. We got another one brewing in the tropics. And the heat is always on in South Florida, but it was actually on the court last night as they finally took to the court and played last night against the Kings. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was great to watch basketball again. It was great to see the players out there and see how the NBA was going to run theirs now without fans. And I loved it, by the way. It minus fans, that it doesn't really necessarily take away from the TV broadcast itself. You know what I mean? And yesterday, you knew that game meant nothing because it was a scrimmage. So you're always going to go into that game with less of a desire for it, less of a hunger for it. And the hunger was just the fact that we were jonesing for basketball. And that's what we got last night. We got some basketball last night, and they ended up winning, which was good. Both teams were missing players. Obviously, Miami without Bam and Kendrick Nunn. And listen, they had their guys too, a couple guys out also. But it's not the kind of game that I'm going to sit there and break it all down. Like some guy sent me a tweet last night, like, you see Bull's numbers. Wow, the Heat made a mistake, and it's like, dude, are you doing something on exhibition? Are you like measuring it on preseason? Like, they don't try in preseason. You know what I mean? They're not even going to play there. What did Jimmy Butler play yesterday? 12 minutes, 15 minutes, or something.
The plan was for Draj and Butler to touch the court in the first half in the second half, let other guys.
Right.
So Spoelstra could see what he had.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. And so you're not even going to play your real players for a while. And so when the season starts, that's when you start to measure what the hell's going on. But Bull, I mean, give me a break. It's just like overreaction. And fans, they get ridiculous. I got another idiot just a little while ago on Instagram. And he goes to me, the NBA didn't look good last night. It didn't look authentic. So this is why I love doing this, okay? This is my favorite thing to do with talk show hosts that I know. Then I also do it with writers, and I do it with you guys. I've done it with everybody, and I've done it face-to-face with writers, and because I can complain about things, but if you notice how I complain and then I try to give you a solution for it. Notice that if I tell you fire this guy, I'll tell you who to hire. Okay? I'll have a solution. It may be a terrible solution, but at least I will have a solution. You know what I mean? I never said just fire Tannenbaum. No. I said fire Tannenbaum, put Chris Greer in place. You know, that's what it is. The lazy talk show host is, well, fire that guy. And then, okay, so what's your plan? Oh, I don't know. Let them figure it. Well, then why are you complaining? So the same thing, I did that to him today. So what would you have done to make it authentic? And he goes, well, no, I guess they tried the best they could. And I go, okay, so in other words, you're complaining, but you have no solutions. Thank you. Have a great day. You know, just to kind of put you in your place a little bit, because it's the easiest thing is to complain. Do you have any substance to follow it up? Can you tell me something else that you would have done that maybe changes it and alters it, right? I tell you, hey, the NFL isn't going to work. You can't bubble them, but put them in 32 bubbles. At least I give you, it might be a stupid solution. It might be near impossible to exercise or execute, but at least it's an idea. And by the way, it could be done, right? That's what talk radio is. You know what I mean? Now, I know what it's filled with, and it's filled with a lot of lazy fans that love to complain but have no solutions, right? Or they go after the fact, right? They wait for a couple years later, and then they see that a player was way better, drafted 8 spots after, and say, oh, they should have drafted him. Yeah, but you didn't have that. You didn't have that plan that day. You know, the day everybody took Michael Beasley, everybody thought he was number 2. Nobody was talking about Russell Westbrook. Now everybody talks about Russell Westbrook, but then nobody mentioned Russell Westbrook at all. It was Rose Beasley. That's what it was. It's Peyton Manning leave. That's what it was. And I don't even know if I go back to that draft class, who are the other quarterbacks taken, because probably several of them that were taken probably did better than Leaf. And what are you going to say? Oh, well, they should have taken that guy instead. Lazy. You know what I mean? And I thought the NBA did a really good job last night. I love the way they set up the screens. They got some of the fans, and I guess that's either old clips or whatever. I don't know how they instituted that. I know the MLS has a thing where you can send them in, and then they edit them in and all that other stuff. But I loved what the NBA did. I thought it looked great yesterday. I thought Eric Reed and John Crotty did an excellent job calling the game. I enjoyed it. I will admit, I had to turn down the volume, and I had to turn up, Snoop Dogg and DMX, in the versus battle. And there was no battle there because, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. But I did enjoy it. I will say that it was good to get that feeling back, When you're watching the Marlins yesterday, it's the same thing. They won the game, but it's an exhibition. The night before, they lost the game. It's an exhibition. I didn't get all crazy about them losing, and I'm not going to get all crazy about them winning either. You know what I mean? It's just, I was just happy that the bullpen on the back end actually, held down, and then they ended up winning. Was it 6-2? I think I wrote it down. I think it was 6-2. So, nice to get that win. But obviously, you'll feel better about it when it counts. Because now everybody's trying. The coaches, the managers, whatever, are putting forth their best lineups. All of those things. So yesterday, if there was any sizzle lost in that broadcast, it's only because it really wasn't a broadcast that counted on anything. That's all. But when they roll around in game 1 next Saturday and it counts, you're going to be super pumped about it, okay? Because there's only a certain amount of games left, and then you get into the playoffs, and it's all bets are off, man. You got to go. Things. I know Tyler Hero struggled a little bit, but then again, if you look at the, young lady that he's been quarantined with, I would have no legs either, by the way. In fact, I don't think I would be able to walk anymore if I had her as my partner. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand where Tyler Hero, lost a little legs last night and was off on his shot. It's Katya has, he scored there. That's his biggest shot so far, right there. Right there. Or the one thing I will tell you that when I see this team, something still comes to mind, and they don't have a go-to guy. They don't have a guy that they feed everything off as a team. And I don't know how far you can go with that in the NBA. There are moments where you've got to just give it to somebody that can close. And it's hard to close as a team. That Hoosiers couldn't do that either. They had to go to the one guy. You know what I'm saying? And so when the Lakers are down to the final shots, it's going to be LeBron. It's going to be AD. It's going to be Paul George. It's going to be Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? It's Dame Lillard. It's CJ McCullough. You could go on and on and on, and there's a go-to guy. And I know some of you are going to say it's Jimmy Butler, and I'm going to tell you, no, it's not. Because he's not that kind of guy. He's not a boring horse. He's not. Never has been. He's a blue-collar type of guy. Do it on a night in and night out basis, especially when you get to a playoff scenario? I don't believe so. I don't believe he's a number one. Never have, never will. Okay? Respect him, love what he's done. He has been the ultimate leader for this young team. I love what he's done for this team. But I have to, I have to compartmentalize everything and I have to look at it for what it is. And Butler needs, remember, it's kind of what we were talking about with Inter Miami, that I love Pizarro. I think it's a terrific acquisition. But at the moment, since you haven't filled those two international spots, and Matias is your third guy, and Matias is too young to be thrusted into that role, being the horse, then you've put Pizarro there where he's not that guy. He's the guy that plays off the horse and plays really well. In fact, I think Pizarro will become a much better player when they do acquire that horse, right? And then pieces start to fall where they may, And I think that's what the Heat is missing. The Heat is really missing that go-to guy. Now, can Tyler Hero develop into that guy? Maybe. I don't think so this year. But down the line, yeah, I can see, he has the skill and the potential. He can put it on the floor. He can create. Duncan cannot. Duncan is a great shooter, but he'll never be the guy that puts it on the floor and creates his own shot and becomes this mismatch. That's not him, okay? He's not going to be that guy. And Jimmy Butler doesn't have the offensive game to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing that when I look at the team, I love the way they pass the ball. I love the way they play as a team. I love that they play hard on defense. They're not great on defense. They need to get much better. And last night they had their lapses too. But it's one of those things that when I look at the go-to guy, I don't know if they have that yet. And that'll be interesting. It says audio out and now went back. Okay, well, then Or is it in and out, or what's the deal? I'm not sure. Tyler Hero has the potential to be that guy. Don't you think, Big O? Yeah, I just said that, Rich. I think he has the potential. Not this year, but down the line, yes. There's no doubt in my mind that Tyler would be the guy. Kendrick Nunn has that in him, by the way. I got to tell you, he has the moxie, but he doesn't have the offensive efficiency to be that guy. He has too many brick nights. And until he eliminates those nights where he shoots poorly, and it's too many, you can't be a number one guy like that. But he has it. He has it more than Tyler right now because he is completely fearless. And he also, one of the things I do like about Kendrick Nunn is negative plays don't affect him. He just marches on, dude. He can miss, and he'll keep shooting. He don't care, bro. And so that's what I'm telling you, that the mental makeup of it, he's ahead of Tyler in that sense. But Tyler is much more of an efficient player than he is. And so it's kind of a mix. It's Tyler growing into that dog position, and can Kendrick Nunn become efficient enough to be that kind of guy? Because you can't be that guy if you're a 40% guy, if you're a 38% shooter. If you're a poor shooter and you're a volume shooter, it becomes a real burden on your team. And this team is not big on that. They love their players to be efficient. So it was it was fun last night to watch some basketball and just, sit back and enjoy sports again. I'm watching baseball. Now I'm watching basketball. I've been watching a ton of soccer now. So I'm starting to feel like a sports fan again. Maybe this starts to turn into more of a sports show more often, since we don't, we can, leave the life stuff out a little bit more, but it's fun, man. It's fun to start to get back to this and start to talk about all of this. Saturday, they play against the Jazz at 4:00. I probably won't be able to finish that game because you know what? I might be able to finish it and then go to the soccer game, because I think the soccer game's at 8:00, so I might be able to finish and then head out there. It might be a possibility. David says any long-suffering sports fan base knows that happens to win championships in NBA, NHL, and MLB this summer will be a shame. No packed stadiums, no parades. Imagine Detroit Lions winning their first Super Bowl 2020. That's pretty funny, David. I never thought of it that way, that if somebody wins the championship, the fans, although we're pretty stupid in this country, I mean, there's still, I was reading an article, I forgot what city it was in California, and they were showing people out on the boardwalk and all over, and none of them were wearing masks. You know what I mean? So they're so stupid that they'll go out on their own. Well, the Liverpool fans, damn, that's right. We just saw it in England. With Liverpool winning, their idiotic fans went out on the streets without masks, celebrating, throwing flares, all that stuff. So we will have the same kind of stupidity here. So that's where, you know what, David, I got to disagree with you now on this one. No organized parades, no organized celebrations, but if they win, oh, come on, man. The people in Detroit will risk their lives for a championship at this point. They haven't won since 1950, bro. Most of those people weren't even alive, okay? They have no idea who the hell Chuck Long is. So I got to tell you, the people in Detroit, I think, they'd tear up 8 Mile, dude. So, yeah, they probably would come out. Unorganized parades, unorganized celebrations will be happening. I guarantee you that. Now, of course, people will get arrested and, and all that stuff, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah, they will still celebrate. I mean, think about it. We're still kind of stupid in this country. No, I'm sorry. We're totally stupid in this country. Yesterday, instead of 1,100, we had 1,200 deaths. 1,205. 71,967 cases. Florida had 9,785, 140 dead. I think I hear the numbers 170 today. Okay? It's like at 170. California had 12,137 cases, 156 dead. Texas, 10,528 cases, 202 dead. Georgia, 3,314 cases, 81 dead. Okay? So, we're kind of stupid. So I kind of think that even if they win, they will have the unorganized celebrations. Something tells me that. By the way, let me do a little roll call here on the program. And Myron, if you're watching or listening, I need you to chat. I need you to send in something so I know you're watching, because I got a message for you, but I don't know if you're watching. So Ian from Brooklyn was number 1 today in the house. Matthew Walker is in. Richard McLean says, I'm back, Big O, even if you're mean to me. I love you, Big O. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Richard. I love you too. Clee Torres, Omar Lopez, Julius 305. Let's see. What else do we have here? Raging Dolphin Maniac is in. Rosendo says, good morning to all. Omar says, digital screens around the entire court was a great idea, blocking view of empty seats. Yeah, I thought the NBA, listen, are you surprised that the NBA is the most organized league out of all of them? Are you surprised? I don't think so, right? I mean, it's just they're the best run league. Football might make the most money, it might be the most powerful, but the best run league is the NBA by far. Sid is in the house. How Major League Baseball and other sports will make money with no fans? Well, Sid, remember, the main revenue is TV deals, not fans. Fans are a portion of it, but not the major portion of it. Now, they will make less money now, Sid, but they will still make money. They're still going to cut a profit, my brother. So that week, I can tell you about that. Rosendo says, are we talking about practice, not the real game practice? Are we talking about practice? John Rouse is in the house. Not knowing where the ball's going to go can be a positive. Name me a team that won a championship without a go-to guy in basketball. Appreciate that. Let's see. What else do we have here on the program? Lester Colebrook. You have to be stupid to vote for Trump. Let's see. Call of Duty. What's up? Oh, all of that. Bahamas is in the house. Dennis Akers is in the house. There we go. All right. I'm waiting for Myron to get in the house here today. So when Myron is in, I needed him to chime in. So I got a little message for Myron when he chimes in.
So far today, Florida 171.
Yeah, 171. I know. I was. Sadly, I keep up with this crap every day.
And obviously, with the green minutes, we got, I think, until 5 o'clock to get the final for the day.
2 nights ago, right? Guy goes to me on Instagram. Hey, bro, relax. Come on, big homie. The numbers are way down. Deaths are way down. And so I said, hey, do you realize that 1,119 people died today? And he goes, oh. And that's all. He's like, and so today in the morning I sent him, hey, by the way, since you're so well informed, it's now 1,205 last night, okay? Just so you'll know. I went and found him just to send it to him again, just so you know, because, if you're listening to one person only and that person's misinformed, it's, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Prior to the upward tick, I think we were down into 300-400 were low days.
Yeah, yes, were the high days.
Well,
and then we got into the 700s and the 800s.
No, but what I mean is for that day, like for our time.
Yes.
Total for a day.
Completely.
It was like we were down in the 300-400s.
Yes, you're 1,000%
and ever since
right.
the upticks, blah blah blah, and here we are back to 1,100.
The only time it goes down completely is on Sundays. I don't know why it goes to 300, 400, 500. At weekends it goes down, but the Saturdays have been red hot still. Now the Saturdays have like a month and a half ago, the weekends were 300, 400 every day, Saturday and Sunday. Now the Saturdays are 700, 800, 900, and then the Sundays still go down. So I'm afraid that the Sundays are going to start picking up again because as the week goes on, it continues to pick up. You know what I mean? And so it just, man, come on, man. It's 1,200 Americans we lost yesterday. You know what I mean? It's sad. It's sad. We just we got to get through it somehow. One day we'll figure it out. It's just we're gonna have to figure it out the hard way. You know what I mean? We have the latest Karen that went crazy for you. We'll play that in a few minutes. But if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-3776. 1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Duncan Robinson's shooting is like Curry. It's absolutely money. What a great pickup by the Heat. Yeah, I mean that's one of the steal pickups in the history of the Heat. Because I mean nothing tops Udonis Haslem for street free agents, because obviously Udonis Haslem, okay, and he helped you win 3 titles, the back end titles. I know he didn't have a major part in it, but what he did in 06 and covering Dirk and everything he's done in his career and what he's doing on the back end now as kind of the security guard, assistant coach, mentor, policeman, whatever the many hats he holds of leadership in that team right now. You know what I'm saying? It's priceless what that guy's turned. That's the greatest free agent pickup for them of all time. But Duncan Robinson he's climbing right up there to be one of the top picks of all time in street free agency. Okay, you got to love that one. That one is just one amazing move by this team. So I'm with you, man. I love watching Duncan play.
In the beginning of the game, obviously, because Dragic and Butler getting their minutes in the first half, to not have Bam on the floor, and we know that a lot of our offense, spacing and everything like that, was because of Bam. Plus Nunn, obviously, being one of our starting guards. You're missing 2 of your starters.
Yeah.
And we looked pretty good, considering, in that first half.
They were missing a couple guys, too, and all that. But, I mean, and they're not a great team either, so it's, I got to take it for what it is. I'm just happy they played well.
The ball movement.
Right.
With 2 starters not in, the ball movement was like, wow.
Well, Bill, you have to have ball movement when you don't have a horse.
Oh yeah,
because
you got to find the
that's
open
how
guy.
That's how you create the open guy with ball movement. So they are dependent on ball movement. You notice it on the nights that they have bad nights. He'll come out and say, "Well, we didn't move the ball." Well, if you don't move the ball, you don't have it where, hey, I'm just taking over. They don't have that guy. There's not a Glenn Rice. There's not a D Wade. There's not a LeBron James. There's not a Anthony Mason became a go-to guy for a season, for the Heat. There's not that guy. It's crazy, but those are the facts, man. And the guys they do have are really good, but they have to use each. Nothing wrong with that, because that's a coach knowing what he has, and he's maximizing what he has instead of being lazy and forcing it and saying, well, this guy's going to be our go-to guy and we're going to feed off of him. But no, he's not good enough for that. He's not doing that. And that's ever put it together on a consistent basis. And so then when you're forcing that square peg in the round hole and it's failing, it trickles down to everybody else. But Spo's too smart. Spo knows that he has to have his team moving the basketball in order to take over.
Another nice one, the late additions, Crowder and Iggy, both look good.
Yes.
What would they have, like 11? Was it 11, 12 games with us prior to the shutdown? Is that what the number was somewhere in that area?
Yeah, not too many. And remember, Iggy also didn't get here and start right away. He had to kind of get conditioned and all that other stuff. But he had 4 more months to get conditioning, so let's hope he's in condition. Cody Douglas, double super chatting right now, right away. Sends in 2 super chats. Cody, thank you, my man. You are a stud. Love it, Cody. Thank you. One sticker that says cool, and another sticker that throws out the thumbs up. Thank you. He knows I love the stickers. Those things are cool. So appreciate that, Cody, man. Thank you very much. Sending in a little super chat love. Always appreciate that. And so it was good, man. It was just really good to catch the Heat last night and have some fun. Now, I will admit, it was fun to have basketball, but as a concert goer, as a guy that loves live music, and I told you guys about this ahead of time, I gave you the heads up that on Versus, that last night Snoop and DMX would have a battle or whatever, battle rap or whatever it was, whatever they want to call it, and Versus battle. I think is actually what it was hashtag Versus battle. Now that I think about it, and let me tell you something, it was awesome. Okay, and Snoop put on an absolute show. Okay, he's smoking blunts the entire time, rapping like and he sounds so good. I mean, I saw him in concert about a year ago, so I know he still sounds great. And it was a contrast too of two men and how their lives and how they've managed their lives, right? And you look at Snoop and he looks good. He's still skinny. He's still in shape. You know what I mean? He didn't get old like the rest of us and get fat, you know, because that's what happens to most of us. And you look at DMX, and I got to tell you, I'm not sure he was singing one song. He probably should have sung it the other way. You know, he's got that song that says, where the hood, where the hood, where the hood at, right? He probably was singing, where's the food, where's the food, where's the food at? Because I got to tell you something, bro. He was bigger than I am. All right, and you know, I'm big, and I'm usually going, where's the food at? And so I felt bad for him to a certain extent because all the alcohol, crack, cocaine, drugs, all the jail time, just all the things he's done to himself. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and my wife is watching it with me, and you know, we're loving it, man. We're watching it, and Snoop sounded so good, man. I mean, and the freestyle rapping at the end was awesome, okay? But you could tell DMX, because he's overweight, he didn't have the energy that Snoop had. Like I told you, Snoop is skinny, looks good, and Snoop entertained. He connected with us through video, his faces, his movement. If you didn't get to watch it, I don't know if they have it on demand, but if they have it on demand, you must go see it, okay? I put the link up on my Twitter feed, so hit it and maybe it takes you to it. I don't know, or maybe they just have excerpts of it or something. I'm not sure, but it was freaking awesome, okay? Because I felt like I was watching a little bit of a concert finally yesterday. You know, and for me, as much as I love live music, man, I spend my weekends and weekdays too sometimes watching live music that's recorded but on YouTube. You know, different concerts, different bands, all that kind of stuff. I love it. You know what I mean? I'm a monster music fanatic.
It looks like on YouTube they got a 12:25 segment of the Verses.
Nice. Okay, so there you go. So somebody did put it up on YouTube. And so
it says Snoop Dogg DMX freestyle at the end of Versus battle.
Yes, because it was much longer than 12 minutes. It was an hour or something. It was long. It was good. It was great, man. And on the freestyle, like Snoop had all kinds of freestyle, and he sounded great and he flowed. DMX couldn't remember half his stuff, and he would run out of words and I forgot. That was the 80s, and you know, it's like, you know, that was several pipes ago. You know, that kind of stuff. It was just one of those things that I that's the part of it that I felt bad, because if you had the DMX that was cut up and young and vibrant, or at least now that he's older, which I looked it up, by the way, to make sure, watching it yesterday, those of you that watched it yesterday, did you realize that DMX is the older one? I didn't know that. I thought Snoop was a little older than him. DMX is 49. He'll be 50 December 18th. Snoop is 48. He'll be 49 October 20th. And I also realized he's a Libra like I am. So, and you could tell one dude takes care of himself, and the only thing he does is smoke weed. And he remembers every lyric, every rhyme, every rap, you name it. And he is conscious of everything going on, not only doing his job, but connecting with the audience. He brought the entertainment, whereas DMX was kind of just struggling to be trying to be himself and trying to just rap himself. And you know, there were times where he sounded good, don't get me wrong, but you could tell that he would run out of gas. You know what I mean? And by the time you hit halfway of the performance, he didn't have the same patience either that Snoop did. Snoop had the patience to go about talking about the song, talking about this, that, and then get into his groove. DMX got to a point where, oh, you did that. All right, I'm going to do this. And he just went into it, and there was no flow. There was no connection with the audience. It's just, it was, you could tell that it's two dudes that have taken two completely different paths, and I'm sure Snoop did some hard partying when he was young, but you could tell that he hasn't done that for a long, long time and is pretty smart. Just, smokes his dope, and that's it. Smoke a little weed, and that ain't going to do anything to you. But the other guy, you could tell, DMX did all kinds of hard drugs and all kinds of alcohol, and he tore his body up. I mean, you could just see it. It's two different guys. I don't know if some of you were thinking the same thing when you're watching it last night, but it was absolutely awesome. The lyrics, DMX song, Slippin', I know. Yeah, I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up. I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up. I got to get what?
There's 2 hours and 8 minutes on it. They do have
they
it
did
in
the whole
full.
thing?
Yep,
Yeah,
they got it in full.
to 2 hours? Wow.
2 hours and 8 minutes.
And it was awesome. It was so awesome.
I would like to say, Snoop, thank you, because we can remember the commercial.
So good. He was so awesome yesterday.
This
Snoop.
is your brain.
Oh.
This is your brain on drugs. Yeah, look at Snoop.
Yeah.
Look at his brain on drugs.
Yeah. It's like, are you kidding me, dude? But he was awesome. I mean, Snoop was so good last night.
But you know what, man? He's always smooth.
Yeah.
He just he is just a smooth cat.
He's just one of the greatest, man.
Look, even that silly
One of the
commercial
greatest.
with the general thing and stuff, man, he pulls it off. Like there is nothing he can't just get through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it good.
Yeah. Snoop doesn't eat. Dude, he smokes weed. Of course he eats. He's just got the metabolism. Some people are like that. You don't have a friend that has the killer metabolism? There's some of us, dude, that are blessed with it, and some of us aren't. You know what I mean? I used to be able to eat anything and everything in sight. Then I hit about 2021, and my body said, yo, it's going to start sticking to you forever. And sure enough, that's it. It was a battle for the rest of my life. Okay? But there are those people, you got that uncle, you got that grandfather, that no matter what, you see, and it's not like they never overeat. They're smart enough to do that, but you know that they got that killer metabolism and they're blessed. Some people are like that, man. Snoop is one of those dudes that has that killer metabolism. There's no doubt in my mind. There's just some of those people that are super blessed. And Snoop is one of those guys. That's all. DMX is not, and he has to understand that he's like us. Oh, man. Sipping and grinding on gin and juice. Yeah, I watched it. It was so good. That is the music, not like the new. No, the new rap is complete crap, dude. New rap is absolutely garbage. It's mindless crap. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that DMX was talking about yesterday that is so true. Write the pain. You know what I'm saying? And there aren't a lot of these kids that are writing. They're writing stupid stuff, but they're not writing about life. They're not writing about politics. They're not writing about struggles. They're not writing about that kind of stuff. You listen to Kendrick Lamar, you'll get some of that. But like Migos, it's mindless crap. It's nothing. And those guys are breaking up and suing each other and all that now, huh? Just that Migos relationship didn't last long. They'll be forgotten in another year, bro. They'll be gone. I enjoyed the Post Malone Nirvana cover a bit back. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Post Malone is that guy's good, man. Okay? I may not agree with his fashion, okay? Because I could never – I don't have any tats. I've never been a tat guy. But if I had to get a tat, I can guarantee you it'll never be on my face or neck. You can bet your life on it that's the last place I would, maybe second to last. There is one spot in your body that you definitely don't want to do it on. That would be really, really painful. So, you know what I'm saying? Chaos Kane says, you know what I love about the Heat? Everybody they know row on team. What? I'm not sure what that means, Chaos. I guess you're talking about that they all bond together. You might be talking about that. I agree. Ian from Brooklyn says DMX been drinking 40 ounces. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 40 ounces every 2 hours. Man. Yeah. Big J doing big things. The battle was not epic. There was no battle there. It was an epic crush. Okay? All right? If we got Chuck D and Snoop, it would be epic. If we got Eminem and Snoop, it would be epic. You know what I'm saying? But DMX, unfortunately, because his gas tank's like at, maybe, I don't know, close to a quarter tank, he might be approaching the red. It wasn't epic. It wasn't. Come on. Let's just be honest. All right? I love DMX, man. He's one of my favorites. I'm telling you. He is fun. But yesterday, you can tell. He slipped, he fell, and he can't get up. He slipped, he fell, and he can't get up. He can't get back on his feet so he can touch up. Okay? No, he can't. I'm just saying. All right? It just, shouldn't be called Snoop Doggy Dog. Should be called Snoop Jobby Job. Well, I don't think they did that because they needed the money. Well, at least Snoop. DMX, all the legal issues, everything else, I could see where he might need the money in a big-time way. Snoop, I think, is doing all right, bro. Snoop is in commercials left and right. He's all over the place. Snoop is, some people look at Snoop and they don't realize how smart that guy's been, and he's been one hell of a businessman. All right, let's do this. Are we hit a half hour there for you, or what?
We're actually close to that barometer you got to hit.
Right.
41 minutes right now.
All right, there you go. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We're coming to you live, of course, from Toyota of Hollywood. There is Herbie right there. Herbie Lopez is working hard right now. He's there waiting for you, so come on out here. You want to buy or lease a vehicle, come see Herbie. We got some great people out here. They will take care of you. Gary Thompson is somewhere walking around. Rick, Eddie, Azric Smith, Joel Rubio, Lori Rodriguez. Everybody's out here, so come on out here. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you, whether you're buying or leasing a vehicle. And, of course, it's at 1841 North State Road, 7 blocks south of that turnpike. It is Toyota of Hollywood.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, welcome back. And Myron, if you're tuning in, I need to see a text from you so I know that you are on the board there, because I got some for you, Myron. Anyway, if you want to get in, very many places to check in with us on YouTube chat board, of course, on the super chat, many ways, of course, on the email, orlando@bigoradioshow.com. That's another way to get in on the program. So many different ways to get in on the show. So you can always reach out to us, and Twitter, of course, @BigOShow. You know what? I haven't even gotten my my TV going, because maybe we got is there any soccer going on right now? Oh, it's probably done already if there was a 9 a.m. game. I didn't even look. Damn it. Could have had the soccer game going on. Anyway, you know what? I can watch the replay of it. So got a bunch of things to talk about today on the program. Dolphins are reporting. The rookies are reporting. And now they're going to get testing, and there's really not a lot to do right now with them, and you're not going to be hitting or anything like that. It's God, I hate to put it this way, right? I'm going to treat it in a way like I did with the Marlins and Jeffrey Loria. I never got attached to Mike Stanton or Giancarlo. Jose, Yelich, Ozuna. I didn't get attached. JT Realmuto. I didn't get attached to the excellent players that they had. I enjoyed watching them when I did, because I'll admit, I mean, when Jose pitched, I would watch, because watching a great pitcher is like when Dontrell. It was just must-see TV, when that stuff happens. But the point is, I knew that they would be going. And I knew that Loria had no shot at keeping a core together. So I didn't get attached. Okay, now I'm going to treat the football season the same way. Not the players, because obviously they're here for a long time, and I'm looking forward to two exploding and all of that here. But I just think it's the inevitable that this thing gets canceled. Like, I'm going to be shocked if football is still being played in October. I'm going to be shocked if it's played in late September, okay? Because I just think that there's no way that they're going to be able to control this. It's too many people going in and out of a building, and it's too many people interacting with the world and then going back to that building. And that tells me, and you always have a group of players, right? 2, 3, 4 guys that are knuckleheads, and they're going to do stupid things, and they're going to get everybody else in trouble, And so that's why I have a hard time believing this is like basketball I can get into, because it's not going. They controlled the environment. Did you watch yesterday in basketball? They high-fived each other all the time. They were right there close to each other. Yeah, I know when they sat down on the benches, they had a couple feet apart. Big deal. That didn't mean anything to me. But when the timeouts and everything else, high five and everything, touching their faces, I caught them many times touching their faces. Nobody's getting in that bubble, and they're not leaving the bubble, and they have these things that track them. So if they leave, it's a GPS that sees, and that's it. You broke the bubble, you broke containment, you're done. They have sensors that pick up if you're too close to somebody for too long. So they've controlled the entire environment. So I got to tell you something. I don't even think they need to hang around without masks. I mean, I don't even think they need to hang around with masks. I think they can hang around maskless in the bubble. We can't, but they can, because that environment's controlled. But just in case one slips in, you have the mask on while you're not playing, and at least you might limit the exposure. I get what they're doing. You know what I mean? It makes all the sense in the world. But football is not controlling the environment. And I don't know, but if the players are that stupid because they're testing every day during camp, when camp is over, they're not going to test every day? Oh, come on. Why? Because you're trying to save a couple of bucks. The league that just makes oodles and oodles of money. You're going to try to save a couple of bucks and risk your players. You know, that tells me all you need to know. And so that's why it's almost like when I'm looking at football, I'm just looking at something that could eventually let me down. Not the Dolphins, okay? Not Coach Flores, not the general manager, not Tom Garfinkel, not Stephen Ross. I'm not blaming any of them. It's just the way the sport is designed right now. And because of the pandemic we have going on now, this is the worst sport to play if you're not playing it in a bubble. And since you haven't come up with the idea of 32 bubbles and you're not willing to do it, well then you're willing to end up with the consequences. That's all. I mean, what else can you say? You know? Big O, part-time rapper in the house. That's right, Gray. That's right. That's right. I'm fat like DMX, so I can rap like DMX. Get him, boy. Get him, boy. It's let me tell you, DMX music is some of the best in the gym. Linkin Park, DMX, Iron Maiden, those are some that I just love to jam while I'm working out. You know, no doubt about that. So good. So Richard goes, Fat Lives Matter. Call of Duty, Rakim is the greatest lyricist of all time. He's one of them. He's one of them. I would have to go with that. He's there. Let me see. I mean, Chuck D, there's no doubt in my mind he's one of the greatest lyricists of all time. Nas. Oh, man, Nas is so real, dude. He's awesome. Who else that I would put up there? KRS-One was a pretty good lyricist. I mean, there's several, man. You know, there's a few of those guys that are so impressive when it comes to, you know, the actual writing of the song itself. You know, but yeah, I listen. Rakim, you know, that guy is amazing because he's still with us. So I wouldn't, you know, we're split hairs when we're starting to talk about some of these cats that we're talking about right there. They're at the top of the heap. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. Call of Duty has Little Dicky signed to his label. Hey, whatever sells, right? R.I.P. Big Punisher. He was really great. I don't know Big Punisher. I don't know who the big, you know what? I don't even know. I'm trying to, do I know who Big Punisher is? Maybe if I hear the music. Wow. Maybe I guess I'm not as hardcore as I may think I might be since I don't know who Big Punisher is. Let's see. Jim Morrison. Oh, yeah. That's different kind of lyricist. I think that's not the kind of rap. Although I'll tell you about Big Radio. What is it? Not Big Radio. What is it? I'll tell you about, is it Big Radio and the Big Beat or something like that? Soft, driven, slow, and mad, like some new language. You know, it's, what's the Wasp? There's some rapping going on in the Wasp. So you can put Morrison there in the rap era right there with the Wasp. My favorite 3 DMX songs: Slippin', Right and Wrong, and Gonna Give It to You. X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. Alexander Hamilton was a pretty good rapper, surprisingly. With Fat Joe. Okay. Big Punisher is a New York Rican rapper from the 90s. Okay, I don't know him, man. And that's my favorite era are the 80s and the 90s. That's really my era. The crap that's been going on now for 20 years is not really the kind of stuff. Most of the stuff I don't like, you know. maybe Kendrick Lamar, a little, definitely Nas. But the last 20 years is weak. Not like the 80s and the 90s. Not even close, dude. That's why last night it was so fun to watch, DMX and Snoop do their thing. And I'm looking forward to Snoop doing this again with somebody else and try to get somebody in there that, is up to snuff, as they say, That would be really, really nice if they're able to do that. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Yesterday, Charles Barkley came out and he ripped into into rappers and former NBA players. And we got into this conversation last week about, the whole Black Lives Matter movement is going on right now. And it's very important that we fight for what's right for everybody, okay? And the beautiful thing, like I said, the Black Lives Movement has led into what's going on with the Redskins. The Edmonton Eskimos is changing their name. Now other things, it's like a domino effect. It's not just what's going on negatively in the black culture with police, but then we fight anti-Semitism and we fight, for women's rights and we fight everything else, right? And last week I went on a little bit of a rant because I thought guys like Nick Cannon, guys like Ice-T, Steven Jackson, I thought are spilling a lot of ignorance out there, right? And it doesn't help because they deal with ignorance all the time in the black community. Why do you want to do it again? And so somebody has got to step up and say something, because that's the problem, that when a minority says something that's wrong, that person doesn't get nearly the criticism that they should. Unlike a white person that says something racist, they get absolutely fried like they should, okay? And Charles Barkley, to his credit, stepped up to the plate and called it like it is.
I don't understand how to do. Listen, Deshaun Jackson, Steven Jackson, Nick Cannon, Ice Cube, man, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, y'all want racial equality. We all do. I don't understand how insulting another group helps our cause. And the only person called y'all on it was Kareem. We can't allow black people to be prejudiced also, especially if we're asking for white folks to respect us, give us economic opportunity, and things like that. I'm so disappointed in these men, but I don't understand how you beat hatred with more hatred. That stuff should never come up in your vocabulary, and it should never come up in your heart. I don't understand it. I'm never going to accept it. And I'm asking you guys, I'm begging you guys, man. You guys are famous. You got a platform. We got to do better, man. I want allies. I don't want to alienate anybody. And to take shots at the Jewish race, the white race, I just don't like it because it's not right. And I had to call them on it because it's really been on my heart.
And Barkley is 1,000% right. And I'm glad he stepped up like Kareem did, right? Because they got to hear it from their own, like telling you, yo, you're being ignorant. Okay, we're trying to fight ignorance. We're trying to fight hate. And all you're doing is making it worse. You don't fight ignorance with ignorance. You don't fight hate with hate. Okay? There's no way. Nobody's asking anyone to tolerate hate. But spreading it makes no sense. And what Barkley said, well, he came out, what was it, yesterday on the 22nd? On the 10th, 12 days ago, all right? I touched on this subject on this show right after the Steven Jackson and the who was the other one? It was
Nick Cannon.
No, it was before Nick Cannon. The other one now.
Oh, Deshaun.
Deshaun Jackson. It was right after the Deshaun Jackson comments, and then Steven Jackson followed up Deshaun comments. Steven Jackson followed Deshaun's ignorance with his own stupidity. Let's go ahead, play it. Reggie White years ago, rest in peace, he came out and, did the whole thing about, Asians are really crafty. They can turn a toaster into a watch, and Hispanics are good at family. They can put 50 in a household. And, he ripped up every stereotype in the world. Jewish people, they're good with money, and he did, and we used it as a joke. If a white person did that, brother, that white person would have been sizzled in those days, okay? There is a double standard that when somebody of the African-American community does something that's hateful, it doesn't ever get the same kind of criticism, and it should. And it never gets the criticism from within, okay? Never. You're hearing a little bit of it now because, again, the environment has changed. But there's always been a double standard with that. And for whatever reason, it's just manifested itself that way. The fact is, Deshaun Jackson hasn't heard enough from his own. And the one thing that this does not help for the black community is you also have to be critical of your own. And you have to make sure your own is also not spewing hate. Because the beautiful thing about the Black Lives Movement right now is that everybody's involved. All races, all colors, all religions, all of it. And there's plenty of Jewish people that are out there protesting for Black Lives Matter. Do you think they feel appreciated when Deshaun Jackson does that? No. So that's when other black leaders in the community need to check him, need to put him in his place, need to actually ostracize his comments and say, that has nothing to do with what we're doing. What Deshaun Jackson just said is wrong at every level. If we're fighting for hate against the black community, how could we then spew hate against the Jewish community? You understand? So the idea is, and I'm pretty consistent about this, I've said we got to fight over all hate. You know what I mean? Because I want to fight it all. I want to fight for Black Lives Movement. I want to fight for anti-Semitism. I want to fight for women. I want to fight for kids. I want to fight for the LGBT community. I want to fight for every minority that's out there, Hispanic, Asian, you name it, because our battles are many. But Deshaun Jackson does not help. Deshaun Jackson clouds everything. Deshaun Jackson spews ignorance on it all. And he sets the movement back for certain people, okay? You can bet your ass that people, Jewish people all over from sea to shining sea, baby, saw those comments and said, oh, hell no. Hell no. And that's the truth. You know what I mean? I get, DJ Lloyd 61. What did Nick Cannon say that was not factually correct? Well, DJ, since I know I already can't help you with the comments and the question you have there, since you've made up your mind, go to Charles Barkley and go address it to him, because I cannot waste my time doing that. Because if you're not smart enough to figure out what he said was wrong, because I guess you disagree with me, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Charles Barkley. You know what I mean? So guess what? Since you disagree with us three, okay, you may see if maybe Kareem or Charles will explain it to you, okay? Because, quite frankly, I don't have the time. 786-322-1105, or maybe you just go to the segment on July 10th and maybe listen to that was just a portion of the segment. Go listen to the whole thing. You clearly need also to be desensitized also in the process. Don't expect people to overcome hate when you're also spewing it. You can forget about that. All right? So, it's really amazing, bro. It's like the mask people. It's the same thing. It's like, wow, you don't get it, right? Some guy sent me a text last night. Well, how come they let people out of jail, and why don't they just give them masks if they work? And it's like, dude, have you ever been to a jail? Like, everybody's tight. And they're prisoners. Do you think they're going to be they're going to keep their masks on and stuff? Come on, bro. They probably want to catch the Rona so they can get out of the jail and go to the hospital and hang out in a bed and get served all kinds of food and probably not have to deal with being in a jail cell. And that was his justifying. Meanwhile, there are 1,000 Americans per day dying now. That's whatever. It just, the ignorance is amazing, dude. It just is. It's just. And when people like that, what did he say that was wrong? My brother, if you can't figure it out, I can't help you, my friend. It's over, So it's if you're not smart enough to see the truth and what's going on and how hurtful it is with others, and what can I tell you? All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in, it's really simple. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. I haven't seen Myron at all yet. He hasn't chimed in yet. And he watches every day, listens every day. So today I got something for him, and he's not there. He hasn't chimed in at all. And the man chimes in every day. Hell, he sends a damn super chat every day, pretty much. So Myron, wherever the hell you are, you guys track him down somehow. Get his ass on the board there. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with more live from Toyota of Hollywood.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest. $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
back. You guys know that we got a connection on this show, right? I'm one of the few hosts in the country that actually gives a crap about his listeners and actually connects with the listeners, meets with them, hangs out with them, all kinds of stuff, right? So, and Myron Sanchez has been a listener of our show, a supporter of our show, well over 15 years. I don't know how many years it is, Myron, but it's a long time, bro. I know it's a long ass time from the days I was doing mornings and stuff and all of that. So I appreciate you as always, right? And he now chimes in with a super chat, and he says, "Oh, tell DJ Nick Cannon made such a huge mistake that he knows it by isolating himself from the public media because he knows he was wrong by those comments." Exactly, and he's going to pay the price for those comments. There's no doubt in my mind, all right? But now let me get into the important stuff now, Myron. So, Myron, I know, that your nickname is U2 fan, right? And I know that you are a monster U2 fan like I am and like Bill is, right? And Bill, I know that you saw when I wore this band the last time about a month ago. You guys remember this?
I do recall that.
Remember that? So I bought this about 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. When I bought this, the people that had it on Amazon had one left, right? So I purchased it. And then I go, it would be really cool if I can get a couple more. So I went to find it again. Minutes later, I found it somewhere else, and I bought 2 of them. Yesterday, they arrived. So here are the 2. He doesn't know about this. One goes to Bill. And Myron, this one's yours right here. So you got to come to Toyota of Hollywood. And I'll be here till about 2:30. Or you got to go tomorrow to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard. We'll be there from 11 to 2, and you can pick it up, okay? But I want you guys to know that I purchased this minutes after I purchased this one. And look how long it took for it to get here, bro. Holy crap. Yeah. Bill's not wasting any time to put it on. So
this is badass.
Right, it is. So I bought 3 of them the same night, okay? But obviously, I got one like way before the other 2. So Myron, present from me to you, my brother. So you got to come by and pick this up, all right? So there you go. Waiting for you, my man. All right. Dougie Fresh, thank you, my brother. Thank you for the super chat. You are awesome. Texas Radio and the Big Beat. It's backbeat that is narrow and hard to master. That's right. Soft, driven, slow like some new language. I got you. The backbone is narrow and hard to master. What is it? This is the land of the pharaoh gods, right? We are stoned, immaculate. There is nobody like that guy, man. Nobody like that guy.
This thing is really awesome. The raised,
yes,
grooves in it. I mean, it isn't just that painted over.
No. It's
burned into.
Yeah, it's legit. But I bought it the same time, bro. Problem is, it came from another place that was probably China, and it probably took forever. And this one was probably in the States. It was already in the States, so that was probably why I got this one quickly, about a week, 10 days, and then that one took whatever, bro, a month, 5 weeks, or whatever it was. It was just a ridiculous.
It's probably been a month because I can remember when you had it. I was like, man, where did you? Is that a concert purchase, or you like? No, I got it online. That is awesome.
That's right. Myron. So let's go. Come on over. Pick it up. Okay? U2, the best band in the world. Thank you, O. There you go, man. So you can thank me when you come pick it up, personally. Okay? All right, so there you go. I haven't found your book yet because we haven't gone to the media room, so that's going to take a while, okay? It might take longer than this. Actually, now that I think about it. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show. Hey, did you guys see that Antonio Brown, the on and on again, off again? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. The on again, off again love affair of Antonio Brown wanting to play football is back on again. Okay? Now he says, you're killing my career, the NFL. He's the one that assaults women. He's the one that attacks the Patriots owner. He's the one that's filming on Facebook in the Steelers locker room. He's the guy burning his feet in Oakland. But no, the NFL is killing. There's this thing in this world that we have that people just like to point fingers and make excuses for their own failures. And those people don't look in the mirror and say, I got to change my ways. Maybe this is why things continue to happen to me. Does Antonio Brown ever look in the mirror and say, maybe I shouldn't think of sexually assaulting women. Maybe I shouldn't assault the guy that's driving a truck. Maybe I shouldn't call out the Patriots owner. Maybe I shouldn't be burning bridges in Oakland. Maybe I shouldn't have burned my bridge in Pittsburgh where everything was fine. But they got tired of hiding all the crap you're doing. So remember, he has retired from the NFL, then he's back, then he retires, then he's back, and he's retired, and now he's back again, which really proves that he is not sane. Okay? And he has not gotten the help that he needs. There's no doubt, even though he says, I've been seeing some counseling and all that. All right, so he's got all kinds of incidents, all of that. So he goes, NFL, I have complied with each and every ask of your investigators through the past 11 months. You have had access to all my phones. You know what the deal is in each and every situation the media has distorted. I've been seeing a therapist you asked me to. I've worked on all aspects of my life the past year, and I've become a better man because of it. You haven't been put in those positions, my man. We don't know. You've just been quiet for a few months since you attacked a truck driver. That hasn't even been a year yet. I love these people, right? Hey, I've been all right for a couple of days. I'm a changed man. Alden Smith. Hey, 800 DUIs, crashing cars, domestic issues, all that. And then he's off alcohol for about a year or 9 months or whatever. And, I'm a changed man. No, dude, no. No, pay dues, bro. Pay dues. Do it for years. And then we know you're a changed man. The fact that you refuse to provide a deadline and the fact that you won't resolve your investigation is completely unacceptable. Brown says he demands the league provides me clarity on this situation immediately if you care about my well-being. My legal team continues to ask, and you provide no answers. How is it that the league can just drag its feet on any investigation it chooses on players, and we just have to sit there in limbo? Need an update so I can talk to these teams properly. They're waiting on you, NFL. Let's get this thing moving. We've got a history to make. Does he realize that also now calling out the league doesn't help him out? No, of course not. Because he doesn't realize anything. He is oblivious to everything going on around him. Okay? Absolutely oblivious to everything. So, it's amazing to me how ridiculous this guy is and how he is so ignorant about his situation. And the league, by the way, they are worried about so many other things at this point in time. You are so far down the priority list. Why would they actually be in a hurry to get you back? They've got to work through a pandemic, and they've got to get an entire league on the field, they hope. You think they're going to worry about Antonio Brown right now? Well, dude, you screwed up so much. You put yourself in this situation. And the fact that you can't decide how to act from one day to another, it shows that you're so mentally unstable, no team should sign you at all. Okay? None. Forget the Tampa thing that some people brought up. That was a stupid move. You don't bring a guy like that onto that situation with those two stud receivers. You don't need him. You need a possession guy underneath with those two studs on the outside. Okay? And they have a guy that I think they're working in that. They're going to hope to work in that position and should be all right. That's not Antonio Brown. And plus, with the baggage, come on. And at this point, you've got so many things condensed. You've got to rush through everything. Do you think anybody wants to add Antonio Brown to a team now? At this point? Come on, man. It really is amazing how the dude doesn't figure it out. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Self-centered people like AB aren't aware enough to know that they are the problem. Exactly. When you say my legal team, you might just have issues. Yeah.
You know what I'm really starting to believe,
Why would you need a legal team, right? If you got no issues, you don't need a legal team. That's true. When you say legal team, that's it.
Remember how he got I was the number one downloaded, person on Google. I really believe that, like, that little stroke of him thinking it's a good thing. That's why every day he comes out with something just so that he gets hits, so that he could be in the news.
It's what Raging Dolphin Maniac just said. He says self-centered people like AB aren't self-aware enough to know that they are the problem. Exactly.
And it's
exactly
I want Google clicks and, all that.
Raging Dolphin Maniac nailed it perfectly. These kind of people, they're so lost in their world that they don't realize how lost they are. They have no idea, no concept of really how to act. No doubt. You can. I mean, hey, look, let's switch over. Let's switch gears. Let's go with the latest Karen. Here's a fanatical Karen on the religious side, refusing to wear a mask. And here she is shopping. She's in an aisle shopping. She went into this store without a mask, and now she wants to shop in this aisle and not allow anybody else to enter the aisle. So she attacks them, not like physically, but she'll get in your face and breathe in your face, and then she'll call you all kinds of names. I've already painted the picture for you. Since you're not going to watch the video at the moment, you can go back and check it out. But here's the latest Karen, another one that's self-centered, doesn't understand, and thinks it's all about her.
I command you, in Jesus Christ's name, get off this aisle.
Really?
Off. Get off. Back off. You need to. In Jesus Christ's mighty name. No. Back off. Get off this aisle. You are a demon. Get off this aisle and buy something.
Really?
That's right. Till I can buy something, and then I will happily leave. I rebuke you all and cast you into the lake of fire in Jesus Christ's mighty name. Let's stay off this aisle until I can buy something. Have respect for Jesus Christ's sake. I said get off this aisle until I can buy something.
What is wrong with people? Like, is that the way you think you're really going to get your message across?
I don't understand what is happening.
She doesn't want anybody on the aisle until she can get what she wants and leave the aisle.
Jesus Christ!
So she's rebuking everyone that enters the aisle.
Oh, that is so awesome. Oh, man. And when you run into those religious fanatics, dude, oh, man, those people are dangerous.
She is one of Jesus Christ's saints.
Yeah, sure she is. Yeah, sure she is. Tremolio goes, it was good to finally see the communist in Portland rioters getting spankings yesterday. I wouldn't call them communist. I would just call them criminals. That's all. It's not, you don't need to go in that direction. Those are just people, just like the squatters in Seattle. They're just taking advantage of the situation. You have your people that want to actually protest and do the right things. Not a Trump guy. I got to tell you, you know it. I'm not a Trump guy. But when there's something that I do agree with him, I agree with that. I agree with cleaning up the streets in Portland. If they can't do it, then yeah, go send the federal. I got no problem with Trump sending. I know they're abusing their authority. Well, dude, why aren't you controlling this? The news comes out. This is the 54th night of rioting. Well, how did it go past 3? Right? You might have one night of rioting. Oh, okay, you kind of okay. Second night shows up, and you're like, okay, no, that's it. That's it. Third night, everybody's going to jail. That's all. We'll cram your asses into jail. You guys get COVID, go ahead. Too damn bad. That's all. I've said this 1,000 times. I got no problem with protesters. Okay? I got no problem with people taking their knee. I got no problem protesting. But when you start destroying somebody's property, no, man, no. You see store owners that they're terrified and they're getting attacked. And no, those are criminals. They're not communists. They're criminals. I get it. You want to politicize it and all that crap. They're just criminals. That's all they are. Nothing more, nothing less. Arrest their asses. Okay? Pretty simple. Yeah, there's no place anywhere for that kind of behavior. Okay? Burning down a gas station or a Wendy's or a hardworking couple that is running whatever their business is, dude. A clothing store, a tobacco store, a liquor store, a record store, whatever. Well, then maybe there's a record store one or somewhere. But you know what I'm saying? When you are destroying the lives of hardworking Americans, then you're not. It's not about your cause. It's about crime now. You know what I mean? So I'm with you there, Tremolio. There's a 54th day of rioting. You want a 54th day of protesting, and you're protesting peacefully? I got no problem with it. You want to protest for 5,000 days? Got no problem with that. Okay? But burning down stuff and attacking people and no. That doesn't fly. Doesn't fly anywhere. Okay? That's not the way things go. It's not American to burn down another American's home, another American's business. It's not. Maybe forever. You never know. It might be such a climb to get back that they give up. And then what, you shattered that person's, livelihood? No, man, no. I'm sorry. I just can't accept that. Don't leave Ricky Records out. Boom. I love it. Ricky Records. Or how about Fajul Records, right? Over on Coral Way. When you wanted to get a little dance stuff, you had to go over there right by the McDonald's. It was a hair cutting place and the record store. And then it moved over to the 7-Eleven, and it became the 7-Eleven, right? Was it Carlos, I want to say, was the owner, if I remember correctly, back in the day? Did I get that right? Anybody know about that? Fajul Records, remember, over on Coral Way? I think his name was Carlos. I think the owner's name was Carlos. I want to say, especially the violence that happened in Chicago. Oh, no. Well, no, wait a minute. Hold on a second. That's different. The violence that's going on in Chicago has been going on for years, and they've done nothing about it, okay? Not Obama, not anybody, nobody. And I'm not into this whole, you guys know it, dude, okay? I'm not into the Republican and Democrat crap, and I'm certainly not a Trump guy. But, again, I'm objective. And if there are things that I think are right, yeah, dude. It's about time the federal authorities went into Chicago. How many gangsters are going to be shooting each other, bro? It's like there's been so many gang-related violence in Chicago for years now, dude. Years. Way before Trump, before Obama. And yet we just let those kids just kill themselves all the time. So I have no problem with that. Chicago certainly needs help. Yes. Enough. Carjules, the cave is another. The cave, Maya. Damn, Omar, I forgot. All this violence is destroying the cause of the Black Lives Matter. So sad. I don't think it, I don't think it's destroying it. I think it alters it a little bit, but it doesn't destroy it because we are making a ton of progress. We're making more progress now than we ever have in a long, long time. So that's the good thing. But you are right to a certain extent. It does hurt it, okay? It doesn't help. When Deshaun Jackson goes out and slams the Jewish community, when the Jewish community has nothing to do with it, okay? And now, don't you think there were a lot of Jewish people that were protesting too in the Black Lives Matter movement? So now now if you're part of the Jewish community, you're like, well, wait a minute. So now Deshaun Jackson, now Nick Cannon, well, wait a minute. We're fighting here for you guys, and now you're going to be slamming us? And you're going to be painting all of us? Because there's bad people in every walk of life. There's bad people that are Cubans. There are bad people that are Jamaicans. There are bad people that are Protestants, Baptists, Catholics, Jewish. We all know it. But you can't then say then everybody's like that. But that's what you're doing if you're Deshaun Jackson. That's what you're doing if you're Nick Cannon. And you can't do that. Because then you're just saying you have a hatred for everybody of that religion, of that sex, of that color. Because we know that when somebody's racist towards someone that's black, that's what they are. They hate all black people. Okay, so that's what we're trying to fix. How do we fix that if then there are other people that are saying, well, I hate all of these people too? You got to learn to understand, and you got to learn to separate. You got to learn to compartmentalize. Unfortunately, we're all going to run into good people and bad people, okay? I've run into really good radio people that I've worked with. I've had some really good owners, people that actually cared about me and worked with me. People like Duff Lindsay, people like Joe Bell. Greg Reed was a guy that, he was difficult to deal with, like for contracts and all that, but he was great. He actually really cared about you, just did 4,000 things at the same time. It wasn't the easiest deal to come across, but he did care. He did try. Adib Den is a guy that I worked with. I've worked with really good people. I've worked with people that have gone through tough times. When I was at 640, they went into bankruptcy, and Jim Hilliard was the owner. And it was a tough time for them. But even through bankruptcy, he handled it, at least with me, with an incredible amount of class. And he was honest with me about everything going on and all that. And all I could give him was loyalty and appreciation for that. Knowing that I eventually was going to lose my job, but I didn't. I ended up going to QAM instead of sticking around through the bankruptcy and all of that. But still, it was just one of those things. And I've worked with evil people. I've worked with people that steal from you, that lie to you. That's just the way it is. But I can't lump everybody in radio the same way. I may look at Intercom like a terrible company, but I look at Beasley Broadcasting as an excellent company that I loved working for. Loved working for Sirius, that I currently still do, even though I'm not doing much lately, but I'm still under contract with them. But it's, there are good people and there are bad people. You know what I'm saying? And you can't go because I run into this one person that's whatever, and okay, now I'm going to label everybody the same way. No, you can't do that, man. And that's what it is with anybody that spews hate. It just seems like, okay, then you've chosen this path. You can't stand anyone that's gay. So this is the way you are. And when you look at Deshaun Jackson and you look at Nick Cannon, you can apologize for anything you want, dude. You're an anti-Semite. I don't care what you tell me anymore now at this point. I don't care what Mel Gibson tells me. You know what I mean? It's just the way I look at it. Because it's what Barkley said. I've said this many times, and let me take my mask off. There are no Freudian slips for all this kind of stuff. When you spew hate, it comes from here. When somebody tells you, well, you got to watch what you say. No, you don't have to watch what you say. If there's no hate here, you don't have to watch what you say because it's not going to come out. It doesn't come out by accident. Okay? Hate doesn't come out by accident. That's not a slip up. Some people try to make it a slip up, but it's not a slip up. That's just not the way it goes. That's a lie. And that's what you cannot be that kind of person, because that does not help any of us. It doesn't advance anything that we do. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. What else do we have besides the crazy Karen going crazy? Here's one where you guys see the Cam Newton video that's out, and it's produced and everything. It's got music and all that, and it shows Cam. He's out there, obviously, looking like Adonis as always. He's got the shirt off. He's cut up, and they got him dropping back. And Edelman is running an out route. And as he breaks and he breaks for the sidelines, Cam fires it. Edelman catches it, and that's a good one. I can see that on a game or whatever. And then it ends there, that kind of stuff. And I know that Cam has been putting out all these videos and all that. And look, there's no doubt in my mind they're going to get a motivated guy. Okay, he's playing for practically the minimum. He has got to prove to people that he can stay healthy, and he's got to prove to people that he can be a winning quarterback again. And now, obviously, Daniels and Belichick are going to have to design an offense that fits what he does, right? Because he can't do what they used to do with Tom Brady. He's not that kind of player. And obviously the kid that's there is not the kind of athlete that Cam is. So you're going to have to design everything. So I was thinking about this when I'm watching that video. One, and you could go back and go to his social media page and you can check it out with Edelman. And the thing that I was thinking about the most from it, first of all, what is Belichick thinking about all these videos? Because he's never had a quarterback that all of a sudden is now out there. And we thought, Cam was going to be a little bit more quiet. And he hasn't been as quiet the last couple of weeks. He's still posting videos. And maybe he is ready to, explode again and all that stuff. I certainly don't believe that that's going to happen. I have zero fear about Cam Newton with the Patriots. I do. I just don't think they're going to be that good. I think they'll be 500. And first of all, I don't even think we'll have a season to even get to 500. But this is one where, and I wish him the best, man. I don't have anything against the guy personally at all. I just don't think he's ever been a great passer. And I think it's going to be tougher with those kind of receivers that don't get a lot of separation. And it's all about timing and accuracy, and he's never been that guy. And when you watch that throw, you watch that he waits for Edelman to make the break, and then he releases the cannon. And he can do that because he has a cannon. Okay? This offense is more about timing, and sometimes you're going to have to throw to a spot where somebody's supposed to be. I don't believe that that's the strength of his game. And I don't believe that accuracy is the strength of his game. So when he does make those breaks on the outside, and the DB is it's going to be right there where Edelman's at, he's going to have to be perfect. And normally he's used to playing with receivers that are long and lanky and have a lot of range, or Steve Smith, who wasn't a big guy, but was a physical guy in the air. And Steve is, as you all know, he's one of those rare guys. Very few people at his size can be that physical. That's a mindset that very few guys are dialed up with. Steve Smith has a kind of toughness that dude, it's rare. It's just rare. Those kind of guys. And so that makes his life easier. And so I just think that he's going to struggle a lot. And I'm just not fearful of the Cam Newton hype that is coming out of New England. And, some Dolphin fans are like, oh, wow, hey, Cam's looking good. And, yeah, Cam's always looked good, dude. But can his game last? And that's the part. One, I don't know if this league is going to last, but I don't know if his body is going to be able to hold up either. All right, 786-322-1105. Dougie Fresh says, the show Good Times was set in Cabrini Green in Chicago, the worst housing projects in the U.S. I taught high school right next to it, and some of the best families and people ever. Also sent a super chat. You did? Oh, thank you, Doug. Did you send a super chat? I didn't catch it. Did you send a... Oh, yes. Well, yeah, I did. I mentioned that Texas Radio and the Big Beat. Thank you, Dougie. Thank you for the super chat, my man. But I did talk about Texas Radio and the Big Beat. I was reading off your lyrics. Thank you, Dougie Fresh. As always, you are a stud. Thank you, sir, for supporting the show. And those Chicago families need help. It's about time we go in there and make the place safe already. Too many shootings, too many gang shootings, man. It's been going on for years and years and years and years. And obviously the local authorities and the mayor and all that, they can't get a hold of it. So then, yeah, again, not a Trump guy, but I completely understand it. Portland, 54th day of violence. Why? How do you allow how do you allow the people that live there to actually deal with 54 days of violence? Protest is different. Violence, crime, no. No, dude, can't do that. No. Big O, do you think Josh Rosen can become a Nick Foles type of player for the Dolphins? I don't know, man. I don't know. Right now, Josh, it's up to Josh now. He got his shot in Arizona. They clearly immediately made a decision on him, said he's not the guy. He comes here, and pretty much the coaches said he's not the guy. And they go and draft Tua. They didn't waste any time. I've talked about this before. Josh Rosen is at a crossroad in his career. And his ass better wake up this offseason, this season. Because if he doesn't, the best thing he'll be is a career backup. This is Tua's team. Okay? Fitz will be the guy this year because of everything that goes on. But in 2021, this is Tua from here on out, and Rosen has no shot. Unless Rosen somehow wakes up. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, my man. So, Richard, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from Rosen. Right now, he's looking like a career backup until proven otherwise. Bad habits are hard to break, and good habits are hard to install. The instant Cam gets anxiety, he will fall back into scrambling, and an LB will knock him out. Exactly. I agree. I'm looking forward to Van Noy breaking Fig Newton in half. Tommy and Hialeah goes, Foles, Rosen and Foles both suck. Tommy and Hialeah. Yeah, but Foles is a good backup, Tommy. Okay? He's not a starter, but I think what he's saying, I think what Richard is asking is, can Foles develop into that competent backup? And maybe he can. Right now, he doesn't look like he's going to be a competent starter. But it's up to him now. It's not like he doesn't have the talent either. He does. Mike Dominguez says, wouldn't Belichick change the office around what Cam did? Yes, I said that. I just don't think what Cam does will not last long in this league. If he's going to go back to running, it's over, bro. It's over. It's over. You got to be able to beat people with your arm. What do I say all the time about Ryan Tannehill? That I've been saying for years. When the crap hits the fan and you're going to need him to beat you with his arm, he's not going to do it. In the playoffs, he proved it. Now, if Derrick Henry's running for 200 yards and the defense has to worry about Derrick Henry and he gets a lot of one-on-ones and guys get open, he can make a couple throws. That's Ryan's game. But if things balance out and they shut down Henry and now they get able to put pressure on you, he doesn't bail you out. And that's my point. That Cam Newton's game is running and throwing. If he can't run, he can't throw. And Ryan is a little different. It's not that physically he needs to run himself, but he needs somebody else to run. And if they can take the pressure off him, then you can have some success with the guy. But again, once you get deeper into the playoffs, eventually somebody's going to stop your running back, and then the quarterback's got to step up. And that's where Pat Mahomes throws no-look passes, and that's where Russell Wilson makes magic happen, and that's where Tom Brady is clutch. And that's you understand what I'm saying? And that's where then that guy needs to elevate himself. And I don't believe Cam can be that guy with his style of play. And since he can't adjust his style to be more of a passer, he's dead in the water. Okay? And just like Tannehill, who is limited, he can make a couple throws for you because he's athletic as hell. But is he going to carry you with his arm? You can forget about that. Because he's never going to be that kind of a passer. That's it. That's what I mean by all of that. It's different. Lamar Jackson, I still feel the same way. Without his legs, he'll never beat you with his arm. You take away the running game in Baltimore, and Lamar Jackson is dead in the water. But if he can run along with Ingram and punish you, then he's going to be able to make a couple throws and hit you and make some plays off of that. You know, Hollywood Brown, they got 3 tight ends. They do a really good job the way they've designed the offense to make it an easy passing game for him. But he's not a great passer either. And that's what he has to become. I don't think he ever will, because I don't think either you are a great passer or you're not. You don't become a great passer. You know, either you have it or you don't. And I don't think either one of those guys has it. They are part of a productive element that they need to feed off of. That's who they are. All right. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Hey, remember, Moody S Dental is a proud sponsor of our program. 305-821-0231. Go to the website, moodysdental.com. Implants, Invisaligns, crowns, cavities, whatever you need, even a root canal, as painful as it is, call Moody S Dental. You guys know I would never mislead you. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. Eric is awesome. He's a huge sports fan. Okay, so when you meet Eric, talk sports all you want, man. He loves talking sports. 305-821-0231. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Moody S Dental, and go to the website, moodysdental.com.
Market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is
be back. Toyota of Hollywood, come on by and say hi. We'll be out here for about another hour and a half, about 2:30, right around there. We should be done, so come on by and say hi. We'll be out here tomorrow. We'll be over at Craig's Inn, Acura Pembroke Pines, like we've been for the last 10 years. And once again, appreciate those of you over the last month. A couple of you have either come here to purchase, release a car, and also at Craig's Inn. Thank you for mentioning our name. It's really important that you guys mention our name, so really appreciate that in a big-time way. Whenever you go, Moodius Dental, if you call them, Caneswear, if you call them or if you go, and make sure you mention us, man. It's really important that you do that stuff. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's see what we got on some questions. Josh Rosen needs to come out with guns loaded and needs to start acting like Clint Eastwood. He does. Does he have it in him is the question. Uber Beaner says, I hope Rosen plays well enough to where you can get a high draft pick for him. I agree. Pat in Nashville says, as soon as Cam has adversity, he'll mentally quit. Isas Bofill says, how are you doing, Big O? What are your thoughts on Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones, September 12th? I'm sorry, what'd you say? Okay, there we go. Anyway, Big O, now with the no preseason and only training camp, do you think the Dolphins have more of a disadvantage than anyone in the NFL? Actually, I think the Dolphins have an advantage over most in the NFL. I already did this segment, so I'll make this quick. The Dolphins, how were they last year? They added linemen the week of the season starting. Ryan Fitzpatrick was saying, hey, how you doing? My name's Ryan Fitzpatrick. He was introducing himself to linemen. He had no idea. They were weaving in players off the practice squad, off the street, into the starting lineups, out, new guys in all year long. And they adjusted. And they got better, even by making those changes. So for me, I think that this guy is better at adjusting in chaos more than most right now. That's what he showed me last year. He had a brand new team practically because he wiped out everybody. And then he kept adding new players all throughout the year. And yet somehow or another he found them to go 5-4 at the end of the year and beat New England. So I actually think Flores has an advantage over most coaches in chaos. And I like that. Because I always talk about quarterbacks, and quarterbacks have to be able to live in chaos. Pocket is crumbling. They've got to. They know the defender's coming right at him, and he knows that the defender's about to place that helmet right in the center of his chest, and yet he's got to stand there and wait for the make the throw, knowing that he won't be able to make the throw and duck and hide and all that, not take the no. He has to wait to the moment that the guy's right here, that he releases and boom, and he takes the hit. Because he's got to live that way. That's the only way the play works. You throw it too early, you guys know it gets picked off, it's incomplete, whatever. Right? And so if you're in football, if you can live in chaos, then you're going to be able to strive in this sport. Whether you're a running back, that, okay, your line's not blocking, but you got to find a way, Ricky Williams, Barry Sanders, whatever, to complement your guys even though they're not good. Dan Marino, look, I know Webb and Sims were awesome, but not all five guys were awesome. So when there were some breakdowns, Dan's the guy that got rid of it in a second and a half. Important that football people be able to work in chaos. And your head coach and your quarterback have to be masters of chaos. So that's what I would tell you, that I think Flores has a better chance than most coaches at adjusting to what's going on, because chaos is something that he works pretty well in. Okay? Let's see, what else do we have here? Big O, you got jokes. The yawn was priceless. LOL. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, I thought it was perfect, for the fight. I mean, I look forward more to Mike Tyson on Shark Week than I do in the ring at this point. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Tyson was done at the end of his career. Why is he going to be any better now at 50 years old? Doesn't make any sense. Just do the math, okay? I mean, it's just the guy at the end of his career, and I know he's in great shape, much better shape than I am and all that good stuff, but still, man, not the guy, man. I'm not the guy that's going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe, I just don't really get too pumped up with that one. Let's see, what else did I see? Oh, from the Some Things Don't Change department, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Justice Winslow, and listen, I'm not saying this because I want to make fun of the guy or anything like that, but he is now out for the year. Okay? And I like Justice Winslow, man. There's no doubt in my mind that he has the potential to be a really good NBA player that is a complimentary guy, a glue guy. He'll never become a great shooter because that's just not in his DNA. It doesn't come naturally to him. You look at Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, those are natural shooters. Those are people that it's a gift for them. For Justice Winslow, he has to work so hard to be a half-decent shooter. But his biggest problem, and why I ran out of patience with him, is that his body is just fragile. So what happened? Grizzlies are 3.5 games out, right? They're in the 9th spot. Well, Memphis is now going to finish the season without Justice Winslow, who, by the way, played for the Grizzlies, who never played for the Grizzlies after they got him from the Heat prior to the trade deadline. But during Monday's practice, Justice Winslow fell after absorbing contact during an intra-squad scrimmage. Medical evaluation revealed a hip injury, which will cause him to miss the rest of the season. He tweeted out last night during a scrimmage, "I experienced a contact injury in my hip that unfortunately will keep me out until next season. I was excited to join my brothers on the court and will be supporting them throughout. I'm focused on coming back 100% towards full recovery." And look, I wish him the best because he's not a bad dude. He's a really good dude overall. But if there's something that's so obvious about him, he's even more fragile than Tua. Okay? And unfortunately, sometimes players don't like to hear the word fragile, but it is. And I know most of us would break down, but we're not playing pro sports. It's not our responsibility. But if you play at this level, availability is a gift. It's something that you got to have in sports. And this is a guy that is never available. And that's really his biggest problem. More than anything else, it stops him from getting. And let me tell you something. As the injuries mount and your career goes on, it assures that you never become the player you could have been. Because you don't get better after injury, after injury, after surgery, rehab after rehab. You start to lose a little every single time. And that's what this guy has. This guy has the wear and tear of injuries. And when, you could have some when you're young, high school, college, but if it continues into the pros, then your body never recovers. And you just never become that guy. There are guys that have had some injuries in high school and college, and then Tua will be a great example, actually. Right? Because he's had injuries in high school and college. Now, did he go through a bad streak and it's over now? Or is this who he's going to be? And that's what he's going to show us now over the next couple of years. We're going to find out, can his body hold up? We'll see. I know what was I doing this morning? I was doing something this morning, and I turned on Rose, and he had Brian Billick on. And I turned it off immediately after Brian Billick thought that Tua should start right away. And I go, that's why you didn't hand it off to McGahee against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins beat you and got their only win of the season. And the more I keep thinking about their one championship, it's like, they carried your ass too there. It's just like, that guy, like, wow, really? You're gonna, wow, aren't you a former coach? Don't you know that there's been no offseason and they don't have an offensive line that's not even settled, and you're going to want to start them? I was like, okay, I'm done with this, right? And it's like, and it's not like they're going to challenge him either. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever. Paid guest, it is what it is, I guess. I saw it and it's like, wow, this is why people are misled, because even the people that actually coach the game say stupid things. You know what I mean? What can I tell you? JW is made of glass. Yes, he is. Justice and Marcus Mariota have the same strength and conditioning coach. Yeah. Strength and conditioning are kind of like an oxymoron for those guys, isn't it? Because we can't call them too strong because they kind of are fragile and break down all the time. So it's hard to call them that. All right, let me get into a little music talk. I always give you guys a little, and I hope you, those of you that absorbed the nugget yesterday of telling you, hey, Snoop Dogg and DMX are going to do a rap off. I hope you saw it, because it was. If not, go back and see it, man. It's awesome. I mean, and Snoop took it to another level. They have the drive-in movies over at Hard Rock. You know that, right? I've been saying now that we've been running into these drive-in concerts, right? And I want to go. I want the Hard Rock. I think there's a drive-in Sunrise. I don't care, man. Anybody, whoever's got a big, the BB&T Center can do a drive-in concert if they want to. But my point is, somebody's got to come up with it. Obviously, I would love Hard Rock to be the first one to do it, because that is so perfect right there. Or maybe that Sunrise Drive-In. Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani, and Trace Adkins. Okay, not the biggest country guy, but I do like Gwen Stefani. But I like Gwen Stefani, no doubt. I don't like Gwen Stefani, her little pop. And what is that? That little girly song that she sings. It's an annoying song, and she's a beautiful girl and super talented and all that, but her pop music I can't stand. But no doubt, and she'll probably do a couple of those songs. But on July 25th, which is this weekend, in St. Augustine, it's called the Pop-Up Drive-In, and those three will be holding a concert. That's pretty cool. If you want to go to a show, there you go. I don't know if it's sold out. Maybe you want to drive up to St. Augustine on Saturday and then drive back and enjoy it. But Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani, and Trace Adkins. As you all know, Shelton and Stefani are married, right, I think? Or their boyfriend, girlfriend? I think they're married. Whatever. Either way. But performing together. July 31st, 8 o'clock. I know that Scott Weiland is dead, but the replacement singer does a decent job. Stone Temple Pilots are going to be streaming on the 31st at 8 o'clock. So if you want to enjoy that. Melissa Etheridge today at 6 o'clock will be streaming. Testament, Saturday, July 25th, okay? If you're into Testament, I'm not. But if you are, if you like that thrash metal stuff, they will be streaming at 7 o'clock on Saturday, okay? The other thing I saw, which there's a part of me that is not depressed as much about this. I don't know if you will be too, Bill. I don't know how you're going to. It's kind of like I'm torn. Are you ready? Steve Howe says a Yes reunion is completely unthinkable. The guitarist made the assessment on Rolling Stone magazine. He says, I don't think fans should stay up late nights worrying about a reunion. There's just too much space out there between people. And so they have rotated through a variety of lineups over the years, from when they found in 68 to 81, and Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, Howe, and 88, all that stuff. They did the Union album back in 90 when they came together. He says, it was difficult when we went through that, particularly because of personalities. I'm not saying any one person is to blame, but when you get a big hodgepodge like that together, it's pretty much a nightmare. We made a nightmare of possibly a good thing back in 1990. I don't think there is the stamina or appetite for that kind of thing again. Okay? And he goes, still many fans are holding out hope. that they would get together, right? So how through cold water and such a concept? To be in a band together or even do another tour like Union is completely unthinkable. Pretty much he told you there. He last toured with John Anderson and Rick Wakeman in 2004. They shared the stage briefly in 17 along with drummer Alan White and guitarist Trevor Rabin in the Yes induction of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The group performed Owner of a Lonely Heart and Roundabout, and Rush's Geddy Lee joined them on the latter part of the song. I hope we came across as professionals, Howard said, noting that there was a fair bit of clash going on behind the scenes. But through professionalism, me and Alan went in there and worked with those guys and played a couple of songs. So he doesn't want to point fingers, but he points fingers. And, him and Alan went in there and professionalism and all that. Steve Howe seems like a dude that's really difficult to get along with. And it also looks like he has his perception of Yes, and then John Anderson and company have their perception of Yes because they evolved. Whereas Steve Howe never evolved. Even if you look at the music he's doing with his version of Yes, it's kind of they're trying to live off of Roundabout and I Seen All Good People and all that stuff. And he's not finding the magic that they found with those songs. Whereas Yes, evolving into Trevor Rabin and company, they evolved. And with the change of times, they came up with two classic albums that are absolutely phenomenal. And here's where I, you know what? After watching both kinds of Yes, and I understand where Howe is at, I'm like, you know what, Steve? That's fine, dude. And the thing is that when you, obviously you want to see Steve Perry, but when you go see Journey with Arnel Pineda, it's not like you feel cheated. You feel good. You walk out of there feeling good. And with ARW, bro, you feel great when you walk away from that, dude. You know, Anderson, Rabin, what's it called?
Anderson, Wakeman, Howe.
Wakeman, Howe. No, Wakeman, Rabin.
Rabin, sorry. Yeah.
You feel great when you see those
ARW,
guys.
yeah.
They're amazing, dude. And they play some of the old songs. They play some of their hits from their albums, Big Generator and 90210, is it? Or is it? I always get the confused.
90215.
Is that what it is? Okay, because I always get it confused with the TV show. So anyway, I'm just saying, I don't miss it, bro. I don't miss it. I'm sorry. I guess we had to live it in those days in the 70s and early 80s when they were together. No, not even early 80s, because by then we were already moving into the Trevor Rabin era. But, okay, if you saw it then, great, you're blessed. But post that, the better Yes is that one actually now.
When we went and saw him, and we're sitting there and listening to the set list that he chose to play, it's like, you don't get it, man.
Right.
And he's selfish,
Right.
and it's about him. He doesn't care about the fans. The band, like
No, but
Bon Jovi,
he only cares about one style of Yes.
Like you said, Bon Jovi needs to understand, man, why we're here. It's for your songs.
Right.
Not these.
Right.
Sorry. I hate to tell you, bro.
Right.
Out of 12 or 15, you picked 2. These other 12 how many people walked out?
Yes.
Half of the crowd was gone.
Yeah.
And I don't even think we stayed till the end. I think we left during the last song. But half of the crowd had already left.
Yeah, the only one that's going to stay is my man who's a Glenn Geffner. He owns a gym down in the Kendall area, and he's a Yes fanatic to the end, and everything Yes. And I got to tell you, the Steve Howe Yes is not impressive at all. It's, it's too much like he's full of himself. And the blessing for the revamped Yes was that they found Rabin, who is phenomenal. And let me tell you something. The Rabin you see now is a mellow Rabin. If you saw him for Big Generator and 90215, he had solos in those tours that were awesome, dude. I mean, he was shredding. He's an underrated guitarist, actually. So that's where I would say, you know what? I'm good, bro. I'm staying with ARW.
You hit the nail right on the head. Selfish.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
And you could see it.
Yeah.
Even in that concert, man, it was like, I'll never go see this guy again.
No.
He doesn't care. It's
yeah.
about him.
Yeah, there's no way I see it anymore.
And everything that he said, there's no way. Like, man, even the Eagles got back together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how bad that was.
Yes.
So never say no. You could tell this guy, man, exactly what you said. Full of himself.
Now, we do have concerts going on. You know Sturgis, right? So, well, they are in South Dakota, which I'm sure they don't have a lot of cases. Although the people that are going to go to this show are going to come from everywhere, right? So they could be bringing it with them. You know, a place like that is not going to have a lot of masks, right? So Sturgis, for those of you that don't know, if you haven't seen the TV show or anything like that out in South Dakota, they are going to have their 80th annual Sturgis motorcycle rally, and it'll be August 7th through the 16th. In addition to the bikes and the races, there's going to be a lot of bands playing, okay? So that's the only thing about this whole thing that it like. There's a part of me, Bill, that says, you know, maybe I want to get into a car and go to South Dakota and just go 17th through the 16th. We haven't started the radio station yet. Maybe I can. Anyway, Smash Mouth is going to be there. Trapped, Buck Cherry, Lit, Night Ranger, Molly Hatchet with their 77 singer, Drowning Pool, Quiet Riot with their 77 singer, and the Reverend Horton Heat, and more. They say, I don't know what the more is. But I got to tell you, a little Smash Mouth, Trap's not bad. I've seen them live. Buck Cherry's exceptional. I love Night Ranger. Drowning Pool's not bad. Pretty decent lineup, bro. Right? Maybe not worth the drive to South.
Mass. That's the kill.
That's it.
Sorry, can't do it.
That's it. And you know that you're going to be wearing masks, and people are going to be, you know, looking at you like you're a weirdo. You know? DJ Lloyd says, I still can't see Journey without Perry and Greg Raleigh. That's the problem, DJ Lloyd. You've already closed yourself out, and you never gave it a chance. You know what I mean? Now, if you would have said, I went to it, I didn't like it, then you gave it a chance. But by that statement, I still can't see Journey without Perry and Greg Raleigh. And it's Rowley, by the way, not Raleigh. You've never gone. You should go. First, go see this Journey, and then tell me whether you liked it or you don't. Okay? Because Pineda does an excellent job. I've done this many times. Journey has a double CD that they took out that has new music with Pineda, and they have another CD that they redid, you know, their greatest hits, like 12 songs, 11 songs, I think is on that CD, and Pineda sang all those songs, okay? I've done this. I've played that CD for my friends. I say, yeah, man, whatever, you know, Journey, and they're jamming. I'm like, yeah, man, Perry sounds so awesome. Yeah, man, yeah. Well, that's actually Arnel Pineda. Huh? So, I'm again, he's not identical to Steve Perry, but damn, he's close. Holy crap, he's close. Okay? All I'm saying is, DJ Lloyd, give it a chance. Go one time to a Journey concert with Pineda, Sean, and Kane now, and tell me after you're done that you didn't enjoy it. Nothing is Steve Perry. I get that, okay? But you will enjoy it. Hey, look, Queen, nobody's Freddie Mercury, okay? Nobody. Nobody will ever be Freddie Mercury. Nobody will ever come close to Freddie Mercury. Greatest rock singer of all time, bar none in my book, okay? But if you go and watch it with Adam Lambert, I guarantee you're going to enjoy that concert. I guarantee you will walk away going, damn, man, that was good. Okay, nobody's this guy. We know that. But damn, Adam Lambert did a really good freaking job. And the band sounds great. That's all. I'm just saying, you got to give it a chance first before you knock it. You know? Look, I did it to Bill. I did. Bill was on board with the new Foreigner singer. He was like, hey, man, the guy does. I was like, yeah, I'm not buying it. But I never went. I'd never seen him live. Then I went and I saw him live, and I was like, you know what? Dude's all right. Bill's right. He's decent. Again, nobody's Lou Gramm. That voice is so distinctive that it's impossible to near impossible, I would say, because maybe someday somebody does it, but it's impossible to impersonate. Okay? But damn, this guy does a pretty good job. Got to give him some credit. You know what I mean? And so, it happens. Ray says, I love the Asia albums. John Wetland, lead singer, passed away a few years. Oh, man, are you kidding me? Of course. Early Asia. Oh, so good. Yes, definitely, man. I mean, their first album it's an all-timer, bro. It's an all-timer. It's one after another, after another, after another. That whole album. I mean, Soul Survivor is one of those songs that is just, oh, man, it is just amazing. Everybody knows Heat of the Moment and all that, but there's some other songs in that album that are just absolutely phenomenal. So I'm with you, Ray. I love early Asia, man. I've got a few of their early albums. What else do we have here? Anybody? I was stationed in South Dakota with the Air Force, and I lived at Sturgis. Good times. Oh, dude, you win. You win. You win, because every year, man, they've got parties in that place, and that place looks like a blast. Let's see, what else do we have? Julius 305, looks like Big O's show was right. Snyder's days numbered. No, wait a minute, dude. No, I would be wrong, Julius 305. I didn't think that they would force him out. What did you see? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Unless he's against the switch or whatever. You got to tell me what you saw. Washington rebranding already hits Twitter merchandise. Oh, that's because of the Sentinels? Okay, because I saw that there's a guy that's on Reddit, and he found, I'll tell you how the story goes. Let me pull it up for you, because I checked it out. There's a guy that's on Reddit, and he found the company that runs Redskins.com, and they used the name Static Crush. They discovered that on July 15th, the company that registers and manages Redskins.com registered for a new name, and it's the DC Sentinels. And it's by the name of a guy named Chad Ryan is the guy that found the thing. And you see it here, and it shows that they signed up for DCSentinels.com. That's what they registered for. And the Sentinels was the name of the team from the Replacements. Okay? Which people joked about that when this happened, that, hey, remember the Replacements and all that? So, Julius, I got to say, it didn't look like he was going to get booted out because they were going by his investigation. So if you're going to follow his investigation and not your own, if you would have said, no, we're going to investigate ourselves and we're going to find out everything, then maybe. I don't know if you found something, because I don't know if there's anything else that's going on outside of, all the stuff that's going on against Woody Johnson, who was getting exposed as a racist. But I don't know. You got to show me what you found there on Snyder. Not that, hey, listen, for Redskins fans, I root for them that they could get rid of him. That would be nice. Okay. Let's see. Drummer Castronovo wasn't too shabby doing the Perry parts in Rolly Sean's band. Yes, I agree. Castronovo can sing, dude. Yes. Yeah, definitely. I love it. I love it. DJ Lloyd says, fair point. Just try it, DJ Lloyd. Just try it, bro. Just go to one concert. I promise you're going to enjoy it. I promise you will walk out of it and you go, okay, I know it's not Steve Perry, but damn, man, that kid sounds awesome. And you'll love it. I've seen that journey about 5 times, 6 times, and I'll see them every time. And Sean, by the way. Oh, Sean.
I was just going to say, that's the thing.
Oh.
When you put it on the table
wow.
and you say, would you rather miss Neil Sean and have Steve Perry or have Pineda and Sean.
Yes.
It's give me Pineda
with Sean.
And Sean.
Yeah, you can't
and
replace
Steve
Sean.
Perry and somebody trying to bastardize and do Neil Sean.
Yeah, you can't. That's the thing that once you see Pineda do Perry, you're like, okay, well, you can't replace Sean because and let me tell you something. Sean shreds for 2 hours. 2 hours. Okay? I think the guys that shred the most on stage during every song is Slash and Neil Sean. Okay? A lot of guys, they're playing the songs and all that, but those two guys find a way of sticking in stuff throughout any of their songs. And they just add a little more spice to everything. And that's the one thing that I would tell you. That's the other thing I would tell you, DJ Lloyd. Choose the right side of the stage. Try to get as close as you can to Sean, and you'll also enjoy that part of the show. I'm telling you that what Neil Sean does for 2 hours, you're like, wow. He doesn't get enough credit because it's Journey music. He doesn't do it anymore, but Neil Girardo for Pat Benatar, guy's awesome, but because it's Pat Benatar's music, he doesn't get a lot of love. Now, if those of you that are older, like me, and you saw Benatar back in the days of the late 70s and early 80s, or 80s, by the late 80s, he already was mellowing out, but early 80s, you saw a guy that would have a solo, would shred. It was a little different. He had a little more. Now he doesn't really do it anymore at all. Doesn't do it anymore. He just kind of does the song and that's it. But that guy's a hell of a guitarist, and he doesn't really show it a lot. But Neil Sean, oh my Lord.
All you got to do is go to Wikipedia, man, and see all the things that Girardi's done.
Oh, no. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Oh, no. As a musician.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. When you have the list of all the
He's a Hall of Fame
things
songwriter.
he's been involved with, man.
A Hall of Fame songwriter.
It'll blow you away.
He should be in the Hall of Fame twice for Pat Benatar and as a songwriter. He should be in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Lisa Rose says, Adam Lambert and Queen concert was amazing. I know. It's awesome. Awesome. And again, and Adam will tell you, I'm no Freddie Mercury. I never will be. I mean, he's so brutally honest about it. I love it. You know what I mean? I've seen the Adam Lambert Queen a couple times, and it is a fantastic show. It's one that if you love the Queen music, it's still alive, and you got a great singer doing a nice job of keeping it alive. That's what you love about the Journey music. It's all kept alive, and Arnell does an awesome Steve Perry. Awesome. Really does. Oh, speaking of Reddit, you need to do an AMA, Ask Me Anything, and I think NorCal runs that group too. Okay. All right. We got to do NorCal, by the way, had his surgery, right? Let's we got to check in with NorCal to see how he's doing, man. You know?
I did send him a text because he said it was going to be a 2.5 hour deal, and I haven't gotten a response.
Yeah, because he was probably drugged up.
Oh, well, I would hope so, considering.
Yeah. Ray Grulon says, great music talk. Love Asia albums. John Wen, lead singer, passed away a few years ago. Great group. Yes, I agree. Well, we always got to mix in a little music, man. There's nothing wrong with that. And yesterday, man, watching Snoop and DMX, that was awesome. Ray, thank you for a super chat. Rock it. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you all out there, man, as always, for supporting the hell out of the show, man. You guys are absolutely freaking awesome. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Terrell Owens, who will probably then want to sign with the team now, but he was hanging out with Tyreek Hill, okay? And Terrell Owens is 46 years old, okay? And we all know that Terrell Owens keeps himself in immaculate condition, okay? say what you want on teams. He might have been a pain in the ass and all that stuff and self-centered and all that. But as an athlete, very few people have ever maintained their conditioning like Terrell Owens. Okay, I think we can all agree on that one, right? I think that's not something you can say out of place with T.O. So they had a 40 run. Obviously, Tyreek Hill won it because Tyreek Hill is probably the fastest player in the NFL, or if not second fastest, whatever. But he gave major props to T.O. because the Hall of Famer ran a smoking 4.4 in the 40 during the race. Okay? And Hill wagered 1,000 that even with a 10-step head start, he wouldn't lose in a 100-yard sprint to Owens. Turns out, though, T.O. still has jets. At 46, he would have won the race easily. Afterwards, the two decided to go straight up in a 40-yard dash. While Hill just barely beat out Owens, T.O. still clocked an insane 4.4. Okay? And you can watch, we can show you the clip here. Let me see if we can. That's pretty amazing. Okay? Dude ran a 4.4 at 46. That's impressive.
Guys at the combine are glad to run 4.4.
Oh, my Lord, yes.
You're talking kids out of college.
Yes. Yes. That's crazy stuff, dude. And you know that dude is fast. All right? That's impressive. I saw that. I was like, damn, T.O. Dude, you are in amazing shape. David says, one might say that the Asia album in 82 was the last true prog rock album that genre fizzled afterwards with electronic pop taking over mainstream airwaves on FM. You might be right, dude. I mean, well, 82 is Asia. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second. What is Signals to you? Right? Because it's very prog. Signals. And that came after Asia's album. I'm correct on this, right? Signals is what, 83 or 84, I want to say? If
It's somewhere in there, because I can remember when it first came out.
We were in high school.
We were not it's kind of
we
like
were like,
Van
wow,
Halen.
what a change.
It's well, that's the thing. It's like Van Halen with 1984.
Right.
What are you doing, man? Where is the guitar? Why do you have a keyboard?
Yeah,
what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. That album freaked us out.
Now, man, my usual go-to of songs is off of Signals.
Oh no, I love Signals.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
Subdivisions.
And they kind of
New World Man.
And they kind of kept going prog in that direction. So is really Asia the last prog album, or is Signals, or some of the other albums that Rush continued with? I'm trying to think of something very prog-like that had success after Asia, and Signals came to mind right away. Trying to think of another band. There's got to be Zebra. What year is Zebra, dude? Who's behind the door?
No, Zebra's early. It's probably 80.
It's before Asia?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was. Check it out. Check out the Zebra album, the debut. Go to Wikipedia and put Zebra Band, and it'll come out on Wikipedia. Tell me in the discography, they got the order there. Tell me what year that came out, and then the Asia one. In fact, I'll look up Asia while you look up that one, and I'll tell you, because that's another band that had success with those two songs. I mean, that was their only success that they had, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of another there's got to be something.
Zebra's 83.
There you go.
From our sophomore year.
Asia 82.
Really?
So Zebra, 82 for Asia.
Oh, you know what?
82.
You know what? I should have known this. Remember, man, there was so many videos being played on MTV.
Yeah, right.
And 81 was the first year of MTV.
Yeah.
I remember obviously having it out the block with Dynamic Cablevision in Hialeah. But yeah, you know what, man? The 902, yes, I'm sorry to correct myself, 90125.
Right, 90125. All right. Okay.
Right, that's the name of the album.
Yes.
But you know what, man? Zebra was supposed to be the next Zeppelin. That's what we were being told.
Yeah.
And
but they were a prog band,
Man,
not
they
really
were-
even, not even.
No, but
they're
that's
not
what-
classic rock like
but,
Zepp.
But remember,
No,
that
I get what you're saying. I get
they
what you're
were-
saying.
You know, and you remember the Black Crowes. Were,
Yeah.
Oh, look at the, and it was more about the way they looked on the back of the album.
And,
than that
and,
picture.
and I'm still thinking that maybe we're forgetting something else that came after '82 that might have been prog-ish that had success, and I think we're forgetting, and who knows, maybe hey, look, any Kansas album after '82 is prog, and they had success, right? So I mean, let me see anything with. Let me see Kansas. I'll tell you right now, Kansas band and a discography after '82. Let's see. Vital Confessions came out in '82. Okay. And Drastic Measures came out in '83. Drastic Measures has Fight Fire with Fire, which was a big song. That's prog too, right there.
A lot of airplay on MTV with that video.
Yeah.
Fight Fire.
Fight Fire with Fire. Yeah, man. '83. So there you go. I found a couple of prog albums after Asia. How about that?
Would you put Survivor in that?
No.
No.
They're pop rock. Yeah. I wouldn't put them there. Let's see who's that? Troy Ortiz. Oh, do you like disco? It's one of my favorite genres. Love disco. Now, don't like EDM stuff now, but I do like disco and freestyle from back in the day. Okay, so yes, I'm a fan of that genre too. Grace Under Pressure is one of my favorite Rush albums. That's an excellent album, Grace Under Pressure. Yeah, man. Let's see. There were Pink Floyd albums after '82, but I don't consider Floyd. That's psychedelic rock. I don't look at that as prog rock. That's not prog to me. So it's more psychedelic on the Pink Floyd side. That I wouldn't put them in the prog category. Saga, prog, early '80s. Yes, great. Their first album is just amazing. It's underrated, actually.
Worlds Apart, man. I burned that cassette out.
It's a really good. I have the CD, and it's a really good CD. Actually, it's underrated
From start to finish, man.
And that's prog. He's right. That is proggish.
I love that.
Yeah,
that album,
Saga.
Worlds Apart, man. Wow.
Yeah, Saga. I will go with a little prog there.
What was the bar that was over there by the skating rink, up by Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale? There was a bar there,
yes.
and we were there,
and
there was
on the south side of it. Yes.
And there was a cover band doing Saga, and it was like, what the?
What's the name of that
if you
band?
remember,
it was like a hexagon-shaped type of place.
The bar.
Yes, bro.
The band was up behind the bar.
It was next to the Copa.
Yes.
Right. The gay club, Copa. What was the name of that place, man? We went to it several times. I actually liked going to that place. Some nice ladies went to that place, if I remember correctly. What was the name of that bar, man? Anybody remember that bar?
I just can remember we're sitting there.
forgot
We're at
that
the
bar.
bar. We're getting a drink. Here's this
I
band
remember.
behind them.
Yeah.
And the guy's playing Saga. It was like,
it's the
holy
the
crap.
skating rink. It's Copa.
Right.
And it's that bar, and I can remember the skating rink, I can remember Copa, and I can remember the bar, but I can't remember the damn bar's name. Oh man, now I hate that because now it's all day. Now I'm going to be thinking about it, and it's going to be bugging me now. Early disco is cool. Wild Cherry is still one of my favorite disco, but that's like pop music, bro. You know, the Wild Cherry's not really, Santa Esmeralda is disco. Lime is disco / freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Donna Summer. I don't know, bro. I can't put Wild Cherry, play that funky music as disco, bro. That's pop disco, like, you know what I mean? And that's not official disco. Official disco is Loving Kisses, that's official disco. Celly B, that kind of stuff is the kind of disco that, at least that's what I consider disco. You know, Cerrone, oh my Lord, that is some of the best disco out there. You know, that to me is real disco. Wild Cherry, not the audio out for anybody else. Somebody says, buttons, City Limits. You got it. That's it. Is City Limits, bro. That was the name. City Limits. That was it. That was City Limits. Nice job. Nice job. It was Clee Torres. Nice job,
man.
Oh, John Rouse got it before. City Limits. Nice, John. Way to go. There we go. Clee says Queensryche. Queensryche is metal, not prog. But they do have, I can see where there is a little prog influence. I love that, actually. You know, I don't look at them as prog, but you're right that the Queensryche, especially the early stuff, not the Operation Mindcrime and after that, but the early stuff, the Queen of the Reich and all that stuff, I can understand a little bit of the prog that you find in it, but it's not really prog. I would still consider that metal. Let's see.
What's up, John? Good job.
Yeah, John Rouse is in the house and partying at City Limits with us. John was probably cruising around City Limits. We were there. John didn't know we were there. We didn't know he was there. We had no idea we would run into each other 30-some years later. Yeah. Yep. First mainstream disco song, Rock You Baby by George McRae. You should go on YouTube, okay, and find George McRae on YouTube. And there's going to be a piece that's going to come out on Rock Your Baby, and he lives in the islands with his wife. And he tells the story about it and all that, how the song came about. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but I'm telling you, it's a really cool, it's 12, 15 minutes, and it's interviewing him, and he still sings the song over in the islands and stuff. He still tours every once in a while and all that stuff. But check it out. It's actually a really, really cool video because it talks about TK Disco and all the early days and all that stuff and how he got the...
My mom worked for TK Records.
Yeah.
I have the album still with Sylvester's autograph and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Obviously...
Sylvester, Real Disco.
Yeah.
There you go. Not Wild Cherry, but Sylvester, yes.
My Munchkin, my ex-girlfriend's daughter, the father, he played keyboards for him on the tour.
Oh, okay.
And his passport, bro... 70-something countries.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was number one in 40, 50 countries in the world. And if I remember correctly, 71, 72, whatever year it was, Rolling Stones' number one song of the year.
Yeah.
That song.
Wow. Dougie Fresh says, did you or Bill ever see James Brown before he died? Huge JB fan, and I forgot I never saw him live. Dude, I'm a failure. I never saw James Brown live, and I have all regrets in the world for that.
That one's man is show business.
That's right up there with In Excess that I never got to see. Those are a few of those that
James Brown
I probably had an opportunity or whatever, and I missed out on it, and I screwed up because I should have seen James once at least, just like In Excess. Every time
around the same
kills me.
We had plans to go see Sinatra and Dean and Sammy Davis, and I forget who passed. And Liza was stepping in, and I think we decided not to go. But around that same these are ones that, man, in hindsight,
sucks.
Man, how the hell is it that we don't?
Yeah.
Man, it's always an empty spot forever.
Just old enough, 18. And John says, like the rest of us, John. If not, you were getting a fake ID and trying to sneak in. It was a lot easier for us to sneak in back in the day than I'm sure it is nowadays. Do you like the Bee Gees or the Village People? Yes, John, of course. Definitely. For sure. For Bee Gees.
They were local guys for us. They lived on Star Island and did a bunch of recording. The TK studio back there, back where I used to go get Amway for my folks, by Channel 2, right down the street.
And speaking of Island, Fire Island is a really good song from the Village People. There you go. Big O, what are your top 5 all-time bands? All-time bands, not my favorite bands. Okay, but see, the problem is you didn't is it rock bands? See, there's a lot of genres. It's tough. You got to tell me, is it rock? Is it metal? Is it pop? Is it disco? Is it, there's different ones. So coming up with a top 5 in a genre is a lot easier than overall. You know what I'm saying? Because like the Beatles are going to be there in every list. You have no choice. You have to put them there. Beatles, Led Zeppelin, but that's if we're talking rock. Then if we're not talking rock and we're talking pop, then we go, like to Elton John or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what we're talking about. Queen, So, or are we talking metal? And then we go into Iron Maiden, and we go into Judas Priest, and we go into Scorpions, Metallica. That's, those would be the ones that I would be talking about in metal. So it all depends. We're talking disco. Then I'm talking Donna Summers. Then I'm talking Cerrone. That I'm talking, it all depends on what genre we're talking about. Rock, I'll go Beatles, Zeppelin, Queen. Beatles, Zeppelin, Queen. It's not that I'm stuck. It's that there's so many bands floating in my head that to nail one, and I'm trying to be variety. Okay. Beatles, Zeppelin, Queen, Leonard Skinner, and Pink Floyd. There. Okay? So I can go rock. That way I go in a little southern rock, and then I go in a little psychedelic. And then I give you, obviously, the other 3 that are just giants of giants. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go those 5 right there. How about that? Super Boom Shack just put Operation Mindcrime. You like that, huh? That's good. Let's see. What else do we have here on the show? Oh, how did you get alcohol served in our year 66? They changed the drinking mid-year when we were 18. Clee, I had a beard when I was in junior high. Okay? At 15, I was going to Club Mystique. I was going to, let's see, where are some of the bars that I was going to? Mystique on 57th Avenue. I snuck into Casanova's. At 15, 16, I was already in bars and clubs. Okay? When we had our toga day in high school, I would come with the toga, and I'd leave my beard out a couple days before, or a couple weeks before, actually. It took me a couple weeks to grow it. And I had a full beard, dude. Yeah. So I was all over the place. So I had a Panamanian license. Remember my Panamanian license?
You remember my... what?
My dad.
Cornell University. That was my fake idea. Yeah. Cornell from. Oh my!
I think I told you guys the story many times. My dad was a trucker, and he would buy trucks in Dover and in Philadelphia and all that. And that's how I became a Sixers, Phillies, and Flyers fan when I was a kid, because we didn't have the teams here. So I went up there. A lot of times with my dad, we'd purchase trucks. We'd have 2 and 3 trucks on top of each other. We'd drive them down. Not me driving. I was next to my dad. He was driving. And then he would make them into dump trucks and then ship them to Panama. And if you've never been to Panama, especially in the 70s and into the 80s, they were building banks on every corner because they were washing everybody's money all over the world. Okay? And so they needed trucks. And my dad was selling a lot of dump trucks to them. And so I went to Panama several times. And I don't know if it's like that anymore. So I'm just going to tell you what it was like in the very early 80s, okay? You could buy anybody in Panama, okay? I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but, so a friend of my dad's took me to their DMV, right? And he goes, hey, just give this guy a 20, and he'll make you your license. And sure enough, he made me a 20. I gave him a 20, and he gave me a license that, added a couple of years. And I think it put me at 19 or 20, I think it was. And I think it was switching from 18 to 19. When I was about to turn 18, the drinking law went to 19. When I was about to turn 19, it went to 21. I'm telling you, like months before. If you look at it,
Yeah, our IDs maintained. We were lucky.
You know,
we were lucky on that.
No, I was unlucky. It changed before I was turning 18. It went to 19. Before I was turning 19, it went to 21. But I had the fake ID. So I used my Panamanian license. And not only did I use my Panamanian license, I then, you know, when they would ask me something, I would say, Jess, I'm from Panama. I'm here visiting. And so I did this all the time, you know, when I had to show my my Panamanian license because I'm from Panama. And so, you know, I can't talk English the normal way. So I had to talk like this so I have an accent. Do you know what I'm saying? So then I did that when I was a kid. And so that got me into clubs all over the place. That I snuck into. And again, life wasn't nearly like it is nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
What I was referring to the luck was our IDs.
Oh, yes.
Maintained, and we never lost out.
Oh, yeah.
We maintained, and right when, oh, hey, well, okay, we're here,
Yes.
we're good.
Yes. Yeah. So that's how I got alcohol served, and that's how I got into any club pretty much that I wanted to go to. Yeah. Roared back in the 70s, and looking R&B and then disco. Gibb is because they were a completely different group. They were folky, poppy, all that back in the 60s and very early 70s, and then they got into the dance oriented type music, and then a lot of the other pop stuff that he did with, you know, Streisand and all that stuff, and didn't he had a duet with Olivia Newton-John, and I mean he had a couple of duets. So yes, you are correct. Gibb was a monster. I can't imagine Big O as a jazz, big band, swing fan. Yeah, no, hell yeah. No, I like jazz. Love jazz. Big band, no. Swing, no, not swing. Jazz, yes. Swing. What's that genre of music in the 90s? That's a swing, you know, that, oh, man, what's the, you know, when New Jack City and all that, Guy, all that kind of, what's that called? Because that has a swing in it, right? It wasn't swing part of the name of that genre? What was the name of that genre of music? That I enjoyed. But that we're talking about, you know, that's a different kind of music. Back in the early 90s. I forgot the damn name of that genre. It was a short-lived genre. But, you know, the band Guy and that kind of stuff and the New Jack City stuff. What's the name of that music? Somebody help me out with that. I hate when I forget that stuff. Like Carlito's Way, okay. Oh, you sound like a Tony Montana. Well, you know, at that time, you know, there were so many people like that, you know, it was easy to kind of, you know, fit in with everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? That was the idea.
If you remember, you were Sosa.
Yes, I was Sosa.
And I was Tony, man.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Neo swing movement that's what it was called, Neo swing. That's it, DJ Gallagher. I enjoyed that genre of music. That one I did. Oh, George McRae's My God Brother, If Father and My Father for Police Officers in Tampa in the 50s and 60s. Interesting. New Jack Swing. Before they moved to Palm Beach, there we go. People coming in with the New Jack Swing. Okay. That genre I did enjoy. That I would tell you. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, ladies and gentlemen. Novak Djokovic was caught on camera again, hanging out, no mask. And I tell you this because, look, I know he recently got it, but it's one of those where he came out like, oh, woe is me, and people always picking on me and this and that. Well, dude, you got to stop acting like a jerk. That would help out a lot. I would just want to tell you that. See, they caught him doing no social distancing whatsoever, hanging out with friends and stuff, hanging out with strangers, and none of them have any masks on. So it just, and he's like out there like, oh, well, you know, people never like me and this and that. It's, well, dude, if you keep doing stuff like this and you keep like showing your ignorance and, you know, you just got it. You're an impactful person. Wear a mask. You know what I mean? That's kind of, look at the guy at the top, the orange man. You saw how much backtracking he was doing yesterday? He was like, he did it better than Ty Law did at cornerback. Now, now I'm wearing them. Oh, the masks are good and this, now, because the numbers are crushing him. So it's like, you know, it's like, man, everybody wear the mask. You know, set the example. Because if you don't, then people follow you. And then that's the problem we have in this world. It's not just us, it's the world, dude. You know, the Brazilian president was making a joke of it. He still makes a joke of it. Meanwhile, thousands and thousands of people are dying over there. That's the problem with us, man. We don't take this stuff serious. And I look at Djokovic, and it's like, dude, you don't learn. You know, you got it. Okay, maybe right now you got your antibodies, but dude, go put on a mask and just show people that you're going to, because there are people that are going to follow you. Oh, see, he got it. He survived. Not everybody's going to survive. And you may give it to somebody that won't survive. You know, I always love the person that tells me, well, you know, a lot of these people are old. And I go, okay, but they didn't have to check out right now. They might have been able to live another 6 months, another 6 years, another 16 years. You know, it's like there's like this thing like, oh, well, it's not that important, the people that are dying. It's just what I love. My favorite part is, well, it's only a percentage of of the population. Really? So now you're putting a percentage on death? You're not putting, you know, the value of life? That's you know.
It's like we talked about, man, until it shows up on your doorstep and you got to deal with it. You know, you're detached. You don't care.
Yep.
And that's more of that selfish, you know, you don't care about humanity.
Right. That's what it looks like. Unfortunately, we got a double chatting here first. Julius 305 says National and Yankees tonight. Thanks for the daily entertainment and paint that car already. I'd love to paint it, bro, but you know they turned me down here. They got enough work here right now. They can't paint it. So Julius 305, thank you. DJ Gallagher says came in a little later, but I still made the party. And he put hashtag love the show, hashtag El Barbaro. Thank you, DJ Gallagher. You are a stud. And thank you for super chatting, fellas. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Julius 305. You are a stud, and I'm looking forward to Nationals and Yankees tonight. Well, not just Nationals and Yankees. It's Giants and Dodgers, right? Isn't it?
10 p.m.
Yeah, 10:08. 10:08.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Correct. What is that? What is that, bro? What is 10:08?
Well, you got
10:05.
You got to get.
What is 10:07?
You listen. Do you know this?
Just started at the top.
Back in the day, when you had TV guides, and then of course we got supplanted with the thing that would come in the Sunday paper, you know, and try to supplant TV guide. But the reason that TBS made all their shows at 5 minutes after the hour was so that they would have their own moniker and block and would stand out from everybody else just because of that little time change.
Right.
Now, with sports, you got to expect between pregame, throwing out the first pitch, doing this, blah, blah, blah.
I was going to watch it anyways, bro.
Yeah,
at 7 or 7:08 or
right.
7:11. I mean, give me a break, dude.
By the way, yesterday I heard that Mr. Fauci was in the backyard with his wife.
Oh, warming up?
Practicing throwing out the first pitch.
He's 80 years old, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's probably the moment a lot of people are going to tune into, just to see Fauci do it and see what he does.
Do you think that our president is sitting there rooting against a good pitch?
Probably. No, but he has a great relationship with him. Linda Ronstadt did major transition within a few years to reinvent herself from Queen of torch rock in the 70s to singing American standards with Nelson Ridley in the 80s. She sold millions in both genres. Yeah, I mean, Linda Ronstadt, you're talking about one of the greatest voices of all time, man.
Didn't she just recently have a birthday?
Yes. Yes.
I want to say like within the last week or so.
Yeah, that poor woman's been dealing with Parkinson's for the last, I don't know how many years now. And it's such a shame, man. Such a shame. She looks like a different person, too, because, it's obviously taken a toll. And she was such a beautiful woman, man, and incredibly talented. Wow, that voice is so golden. Hers and Barbara Streisand, and there are certain women that have been given this voice. Adele has that voice. That is just one of the, just amazing, dude. And Linda is one of the. Carly Simon is another that has just this magical voice. It's crazy. And the beauty is when you see these women that I'm talking about live, it sounds exactly like the record. And that's when you're like, wow. You're sitting there, oh my Lord, these people are so amazing, It's
one of the never seens along the lines of the women. Diana Ross.
Oh,
man.
yeah, definitely.
I've never seen her.
Oh, I have. I've seen her several times. Man. Several times I've seen her. Seen her a few times. About 4 or 5 times I've seen Diana Ross over the years.
She's maintained pretty well, man.
Yeah.
She still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
She does.
Definitely. Mahogany is one of those songs that, for me,
I don't know if you remember, but that was our song from Hialeah 85.
Yeah.
Mahogany.
I love Mahogany.
The following year when I got set up to Stuart.
Phenomenal.
It was, of course, Don't You Forget About Me.
There you go.
Simple.
There you go. All right, it is time to wrap it up on the show, live from Toyota of Hollywood. We appreciate all of you, as always, tuning in. You guys are absolutely awesome. Myron, we got this waiting for you. It's there in the bag. So tomorrow, let's see if you go on out
Worth
to
the trip, man.
To Craig's Inn Acura so you can pick up your YouTube band, Myron, all right? Anyway, you all out there, thank you. First of all, let's thank the Super Chatters, as always, coming through. Cody Douglas did a duque of them. Dougie Fresh, Myron Sanchez, Ray Grulong, Julius 305, DJ Gallagher. As always, thank you all out there for always supporting us. Whether you listen, whether you watch, you download at 3 in the morning in Malaysia or in Portugal, wherever it is that you're listening. We love you for tuning in as always. And those of you that are live, make sure you always give us the thumbs up. You share the link. Very important to share the link and to subscribe. Thank you all out there. We thank, of course, Steve Ostrov and all the great people out there, Herbie Lopez, all the amazing people out here at Craig's Inn. At Toyota of Hollywood, making it happen. Tomorrow we'll be at Acura at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines.
Regular time tomorrow, or because of the West Coast game late?
Oh, by the way, what'd you think of the matching?
No. You know what? I haven't commented.
The matching the matching mask with the shirt. I already had this shirt. When I saw this mask, I go, "Oh, dude, I got to get this." Like how many times you're gonna have the mask match the shirt in today's world? You know what I'm saying? So I had to do it, And today was kind of a U2 thing today. Since I got those things yesterday in the mail, I was like, "Wow, finally, dude!" It's amazing. It took so damn long to get those things in, and I figured you guys would enjoy it.
This is amazing, man.
Yeah.
This is better probably than, I hate to say it, the Maiden one you got me.
Oh yeah. Well, it's about the same, but there's more work on that one actually. That's the thing.
Definitely.
It's work all the way around the whole damn thing. All right, we are out of here. There's Herbie Lopez, baby. Yeah, always getting it done. We'll see you next week right here on the Big O Show. Be good out there.
Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. We'll talk to you tomorrow.